Hi, everybody. Hey, Sinistello. Happy Wednesday afternoon. We got the perks dialogue showing in the morning, and now we need to actually code some perks in here. Hey, Kevin. So we're going to go with more max fish and extract more eggs from each potion. I think I'm just going to do those two. So let's go to gameicons.net and find some icons for these. Is there a fish icon? I'd be pretty surprised if there isn't. This is for more max fish in the pond. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then the other one was for what? More eggs from each potion? Oh. Eggs. They'd have to be fish eggs. Wait, why did... Oh, there it is. Yeah, so that would be the potion icon, I guess. So what would be the more fish... Wait, what? No, hold on. They're the same thing, aren't they? No, one is more fish in the pond. I mean, it could be a pond that we have a picture of then, right? I guess all of this is temporary anyway, so what do I care? Yeah, what do I care? Let's just find a fish picture. And let's go with that. Sure, whatever. So that'll be more fish in the pond. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter. And that'll be fish eggs. Got a scam call. Oh, too bad. Too bad. All right, download and download. Never had this amount of scam calls. Do you ignore all calls you don't recognize? Yeah. And even some calls I do recognize. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I ignore all the calls I don't recognize. Although I will say my phone does a pretty good job of flagging them as scam calls. And they don't happen all that often. They've been happening more in the last week than in the last like 3 months. All right, we got to go add these to the game. Icons, downloads, put these here. Ooh, did I keep them both open? Yeah, I did, but they're both by Delapuit though, so that's fine. Icon ID. So what is it called? Fish eggs and fish escape. Fish eggs, fish escape. Yeah. And those come right beneath Firetail. There it is. These two. Good. And they should be pasted in correctly. Yep, good. So fish eggs, fish escape. Wonder what happened the last couple weeks. I would assume it's just another call center opening up. I don't know though. Yeah, it could be that my phone leaked or something. I'm never really all that concerned, to be honest, because it's now ingrained to just ignore all those calls. And it's not usually all that disruptive either. But I mean, that's because I'm ignoring all the calls. I imagine for someone who answers one of them and then gets caught up in a scam and loses $1,000 and a bunch of their time, that's probably super frustrating. Okay. So fishing perks. So we need 2 new abilities as well. Let's add those in. Should we start this with like fishing pond? I think I might. Fishing pond, more max fish. And fishing pond, what's the other one? More eggs from potions. More eggs. I don't want to write from potion there in case we ever change how that works. So yeah, more eggs I think is fine. All right, now we need some abilities for that. So how's this going to work? We got to come up with some basic numbers at the very least. So maybe we start the pond. I think starting the pond with 15 fish is good. So that I think you'd probably want to see the pond just grow in size. Yeah. I think you'd want to. And if you're going to see it grow in size, and I think instead of seeing just 15 fish, you'd want to see like 30 fish, or you'd want to see 100 fish. So I'm not totally sure what I want to do for that. What we could do is start the max at like 5 fish, and one fish, one rendered fish, is equal to one fish in the pond. And it's only once you get beyond 15 fish that we start rendering them as percentages. That could potentially work. Would it ever make sense to have a maximum of like 3 fish though? I guess it depends on how many scales you need. It could. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Let's start that way then. So let's have the max fish count go from 3 up to 10 up to 50, maybe 35, and 100. I don't think you'd want to upgrade it anymore after that. Maybe we just have these as the levels. So it's like roughly times 3 each time. Yeah, let's start with that. Okay, so what is this closest to? Player ability, I have no idea. I guess max workers. Worker ability. Cloning. Yeah. Okay, let's save this as whatever I called the other thing. This one. Fishing pond. It should just match the ID, right? Player cloning ability. Yeah. Okay. Let's put these number of fish. So this is a list of floats. It doesn't really need to be, but max fish. 3. You're not gonna type out the rest for me? 10. There we go. All right, so what do we call this? I think it'd really be like pond size. You're increasing the size of your pond. But I think we'll just call it maximum fish for now. And maximum fishies. Don't we have a maximum customer ability as well? What do we call it there? Yeah, max customers. Okay, maximum fish. Oh wait, we call it max customers. I guess max fish. All right, icon ID is going to be the fish escape one. The ID is going to be fishing pond more max fish. Max level is going to be max fish. Sounds good. All right, so on ability level change, I never remember how this works. And this thing stopped loading for me. This is only called once when the player manually changes the ability level. For anything whose effects only need to run when the level changes, use this function. For anything that needs to run every time the ability level changes, use reapply ability effects. This is what's called when loading from a save file. I think it's got to be in reapply ability effects then. No, it doesn't, because we save it in the fishing pond directly, right? Somewhere here we have a max fish. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, and I guess we're going to start this at 3. All right, so number of fish. All we're doing is setting the maximum here. So we just do town.fishingpond dot max fish equals get num fish. Yeah. All right, now we just make that public. Apparently it does not like that. This cannot be null here. And then get ability description. So how do we do this for max customers? We said customers. So here we should say fish. And then what is this? Num fish? Max fish? Increase the maximum number of fish that your pond can hold. Yeah. All right, there we go. So now we put this inside of the fishing perks. And I don't know what the cost should be. What are they for customers? 50, 75, 200. Let's say 100, 200, 300, 400. It's probably got to be even more than that, actually. Like 250, 400, 600. I'm just making up numbers. All right, let's go try it out. Whenever you get this, it should probably signal to something, but your mouse can't be over anything else anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. But let's see if this works. It broke immediately. Why did it break? Because we don't have data for this ability. Yeah, okay. Well, then we gotta go do that. So this is gonna be called what? Fishing pond, more eggs. Hey, Brestle, sounds good to me. Hope you have a good lurk. Fish eggs. Oh my god, I cannot type there. All right, what's this ability called? Extractor efficiency. All right, how's this work? How do we say how this works? Actually, let's just not do anything for right now. Let's just not type a single thing, and instead let's put something over here. This is what, more extra capacity. It's eggs. Eggs. Also, I suppose this could have been a machine. Like this could have shown the extractor. All right, let's try running this. It shouldn't error out anymore. Nothing's going to work. Well, the max fish thing should work, but the eggs thing won't work. And I still need to figure out what we want to do for that. I also don't know if it's a bad idea to have a perks menu that only has 2 perks in it. It might seem like it's incomplete, even though it isn't. So the icons didn't show up because I forgot to open Godot first. There. Now they should show up. At least it won't take a long time to rebuild because it doesn't have to recompile anything. They still don't show up. Okay, that's unexpected. Fish escape, resource file not found. Oh, they're in ability icons. Whoops. So let's search for fish. So here they are in icons. I want them to be in ability icons. There. Extra capacity. People would uninstall on the spot. Okay. Increase maximum number of fish that your pond can hold. So let's try upgrading this. It says, oh, interesting. It says we have 2 fish, but it's showing like 1,000,000 of them because of the percentage thing. So we got to change that. So fishing pond percent. Yeah, percent fish in pond. I think we're going to have a maximum number of fish we render. Do we even... Yeah, there it is, max fish to render. So if you're at less than the maximum, then we want to do this differently. Num fish to render. Okay, so let's do that. So your fish count is here. So if your fish count is less than the max, then num fish to render is going to be equal to that. Yeah, otherwise it's going to be equal to this. Okay, so num fish to render equals fish count. Delete this. Put this up here. And that's that. Yeah. Nice. Now this should all be in its own function, I think. Private void update rendered fish count. Or update rendered fish based on count. I don't know, whatever. And we put that here. Update rendered fish. That looks a lot better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Cool. I don't think it'll matter once we change the UI for perks. I think it could, because we'll probably have some like minimum number of columns we want to show or some basic width that we have. But it's not a big deal either way. Either it does look something like this where there are only two and it's, yeah, that's fine. Or we just find a way to add a third one in. All right, so right now it says you have 2 fish in your pond and we're showing 2. Now we upgrade to the max is 10 and it says 2 and a max of 10. We don't have enough money to keep upgrading this. But now we do. Now we can hold 35. And there's a question here. Oh, wait, no, this is wrong, isn't it? It's if you're... I did this wrong. It's not if your fish count is less than the max to render. It's if your maximum fish is less than or equal to the maximum to render. Hey, Zibu. I think it's one of the most advanced C# games on Godot I've seen. Do you have any good resources or did you do any tutorials about your game architecture? I haven't done any, but I want to start. I actually wanted to make something yesterday, and I'm still debating on how best to do that. So if you have any specific questions, I don't mind answering, or if you want to kind of steer those videos by saying what it is you're looking for exactly, I don't mind, yeah, trying to make that content. Also, I think it's hard to know exactly which games out there exist that were made in Godot unless they're advertising that. I think there's a way on Steam to indicate that, but you don't have to. So it's possible there's a game that was made in Godot that there's just no indication it was made in Godot. All right, so we have 2 fish in the pond, max 3, and we're rendering both of the individual fish. Let's keep trying this. So now we're going to add this, and now we can hold 10, and we're still rendering 2. Now, as soon as we go to 35, it's going to stop rendering 2 fish, I think. It didn't. Why didn't it? 2 divided by 35 times 15 is 1. Oh, because it doesn't update the... Oh, man. It doesn't update the rendered fish when you do this. So we do need to know that this changed. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Let's try something though. Although this is going to mess everything up, isn't it? When they bring 2 potions here, this number will rise to 3, and then the rendered fish one will actually disappear, I think. Yeah, and then it comes right back. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Even going through your code base to explain your choice, use of interface, polymorphism, events. When I've seen you have a very clean and professional architecture. Well, thanks, Zibo. Yeah. Yeah, Godot has a showcase, but it would involve you like registering yourself with that showcase. I'll write this down. I'll also think about this. Look into this. In general, Zibu, the way that I kind of think about this stuff is that there are good software practices that exist regardless of what you're working on. And I happen to be making a game, but you'd still follow a lot of these principles if you were making anything. And that's what makes me wonder what is game specific that people might want to know. And there isn't much that's game specific. Like, yeah, I'm using Godot. Yeah, there's rendering stuff, but it doesn't change too much of how things are coded, I feel. All right, we get the final upgrade here. And now there are going to be even fewer fish in the pond. Let's see. It says 4. Yeah, so that one disappears. So here's how this is going to work. We're going to add in a bunch of workers. We're going to add in a bunch of potions. And they're going to slowly fill up this pond. This percentage... Oh, never mind. They very quickly filled it up. So we have 77 fish. Which means 77% of 15 fish is what we're going to render. So now we're rendering all 15 fish. And if you were to battle them... So let's say we were to add in a bunch of customers now. And then just speed this up like crazy. All right, so now there are no more potions in town. Now if I were to go into a battle, we would battle 100 fish. So let's make sure that's working. So there are the first 9. We have 91 left in the pond. I don't have an easy way of speeding this up without zooming out. Yeah, we killed one. We killed another couple. So now we're getting down to 88. Yeah, so that's how this is working. I think this is good. I like this. I think these are reasonable numbers too. Hey, Warner. Been away from Twitch this past month, so it's been a while. How's everything going? It's going pretty well. We were preparing for Next Fest originally, but we pulled out of it because we decided it's better to wait and get even more polish on the game. And then I started analyzing everyone's feedback, and just did that like freeze thing again. Didn't produce any specific errors. There's just the no sprite IDs, which is not really a problem. The biggest, oh my God, my stupid mouse. Sorry. The biggest thing that people said in the feedback was, I want more content, more systems in the game. So we came up with this fishing system. The way this works is that you have this extractor here and you drag potions to it. So I put a little, I guess my workers are just going to drag a potion to it. They put potions in here, which produces fish eggs into your pond. And then you battle the fish to catch them. And you use the fish scales that you get to upgrade your adventurers. So this system didn't exist as of a week ago, and it's not fully done yet, but we're getting there. And we're just trying to test what happens when you drain the entire pond. Let's speed this up. 17, 16, 14, 10, 9, 4, 2, 1. Now the fish battle ends. Yeah. Yeah, so now we're like, okay, well, we no longer have fish. Let's flee. And we got 102 scales. Cool. Are all the perks just going to be straight increases? Or are there ever going to be perks that have some sort of random chance? Golden fish. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we should do something like that. I love that idea. Yeah, that's fantastic. Why was I typing something here? I have no idea. Yeah, let's just copy paste exactly what Bacon Life said here. Now add sharks with lasers on their head. You need like $1 billion to do that. All right, so this one's done. Extract more eggs from each potion. So we got to figure this part out. How do we want to represent this? So we want a perk that gives more eggs for each potion. The way this works internally is that there's a hidden, it's not really secret, it's just hidden, like gold to egg ratio, which is currently 5 gold for 1 egg. So we could even show that. We could even say what that number is and then let you change that. I don't think I like that idea though, because what's really happening here, your potions have fish eggs in them and you're, I guess, getting more efficient at extracting them. Yeah, you're getting better at extracting them. Yeah, so what did I call this ability? I don't think I even gave it a name. Fish eggs. No, I did. I called it exactly what I wanted to call it. Extractor efficiency. So what do we say in the dialogue for that then? Like at level 1, the hidden value is 5 gold. At level 2, we could set it to 4 gold and so on and so forth. But how do we tell the user that? I guess we just say it in terms of percentages. It got like 25% more efficient. Okay, that would work. Yeah. All right, I like that. Let's write that out before we actually do that. Allow the extractor to pull more eggs from each potion. This is so silly. Oh man. Because this is also explicitly calling out that there are eggs in the potions. That's not some like pollution process or something. And we should probably change how much it costs to get a fish egg. Because 5 is probably too low. Where is that even set? Item value per fish. Yeah, I think this should minimally be 10. Recover. I think I should say extract. It is called the extractor after all. All right, so if it's 10, that means that it's really like 3 small blue potions. It's actually 3.333. Or like 1 big life potion, actually 2/3 of a big life potion. But these numbers will probably change over the course of development. Also, I don't know when you're going to unlock the fishing pond. It might be when the potions you're getting are naturally worth 15 anyway. And if your max number of fish in the pond is only 3, then we probably don't want you immediately filling up the pond. It should probably take a few trips, right? So maybe we actually start this at like 50. I just I also don't want you dragging a 15 gold potion there and it doing nothing. It'd pretty much be now you're at about a third of 1 egg, which is currently what's happening. If you, let me just restart this. If I drag this potion down here, it does not add another fish. But the second time I do that, it does because we've exceeded that 5 gold value. So now we're at all 3 fish. 50 gold. I think we're just going to do this. I think we need some way of indicating that you've partially filled the extractor, and it's probably going to be this gauge. This gauge would have like a always facing left, and then like a quarter, half, 3/4, and it would never really be on full, I guess, because full would mean that it's already shot an egg into the pond, something like that. Okay, so when we say more efficiency, we're gonna go from 50 gold per item to maybe like 45 to 40 to 35. Maybe that's enough. Do you have a way to refund if they put it in but don't have enough? No, it keeps it around. So you don't lose the potion for good. It will just have turned into a fraction of an egg. And then the next egg you put in, or sorry, the next potion you put in might actually give you the full egg. So it's not like, oh, I just lost that and got no value out of it. You got some value, it just wasn't obvious. Hey, Karada, thank you. Because I don't want to make this any more complex. Like we have one control on here and that's it. And I'd like to keep it that way. So if we had some kind of concept of refunding this, it would add some complication to it. Okay, I think this can work. So we're gonna say item values per fish. Is that what I want to say? Yeah, sure, whatever. All right, 50, 45, 40, 35. Now, this is very strange because any given level is going to increase the efficiency based on the base amount by 10%. So let's just fill all this stuff out. How about that? This max fish thing doesn't exist, so this goes here. Get number of fish. This is like get the item value. So the extractor itself needs this to be public and settable. Yeah, so this is not a constant anymore. This goes here. Make it public. Delete this. And technically we're setting this to fishing pond, more eggs, item value 0. This should also technically be a long, which I think will break something in here. I think form skill table takes in floats. This keeps breaking. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, it does take in floats. I wonder, no, you can't do that apparently. Or whoops, that's the wrong thing, but I still think you can't do this. Yeah. We could explicitly convert it, or we could just make these floats here. I think it's fine to make them floats. You always keep that constant and make the ability to apply a multiplier instead. Yes, that is much smarter. Okay. Efficiency numbers, multipliers. And it's just going to be 0.1 per level. I guess technically the first one's 0. 0 0.2, 0 0.3. How many levels did I want? Yeah, just 3. Well, beyond the original one. All right, I don't see a need to have this function here. I don't even see the need to have it for the other thing that I made. Fishing, max fish. Get number of fish. Is this ever called anywhere else? No, it isn't. So then who cares about this? It doesn't really matter. It's a function, I guess. I don't care. All right, so this is a long. No, it's not a long. It's a float. And it's going to be get efficiency. Should know what I want to write here, right? Why even wait? Why not just write it out myself? I wrote multipliers. That I did. Thank you. Appreciated. Get efficiency multiplier. Okay, so how's this going to work? Every time you change this, we're going to go set it inside the extractor itself. And is this complaining because it's not static? It's apparently not static. Public static read only. Oh, it's called efficiency multipliers now. I'm not paying attention to anything. All right, so now that should be a float. So this actually is not how we want to do this. We do want this to be a constant again. So just remove everything I did. Extractor. I think it only had this code changing, right? Yeah. So get rid of that. I guess get rid of that. Okay, so now we got to write this out. And this is just a to-do for now. Apply the... Actually, can we apply this easily to the extractor? Do we want to store this there? Or do we just want to be able to call this function every time? Get efficiency multiplier. Yeah, I think we can just call that every time. It does mean there's kind of an edge case problem that could happen here. Accumulated item value. Oh, no, this already works the way it should. Whew. Good. We don't have an edge case problem. Yeah, so I don't think we do anything in here. I think we just... Yeah, it's a hidden value anyway. Okay, so we're just going to say efficiency. This probably won't make sense. And we type up P0 here, I guess. Eggs per potion. Do we capitalize these? I don't remember. Open an editor. This should show us pretty quickly. No, we don't. Oh, and we intentionally don't because then the columns would meld together and you wouldn't be able to tell where each one stops. You need visual changes to show it extracting more eggs other than the pond filling faster, more pumps on the side or something. There should be eventually, but not at first. All right, so I think we've coded all of this. I think the thing we haven't coded is the extractor doesn't know about this. And as long as it has a reference to the town, it should be easy enough to get it. Yeah, so where is this used? Item value per fish. Oh, whoops. The whole point was to change this to 50. I forgot I undid that. How do you structure your projects, especially scenes and C# scripts that are linked together? Are they next to each other? We did something that is not the best right now, but we have our root folders structured like this: assets, source, scenes. So the assets are things like audio, sound effects, sprites. Scenes are just scene files, and we only have TSCN files and all of this stuff. And then source is where we keep all of our C# files. And we put all of our scene scripts into a scene scripts folder, which ended up becoming a little bit overwhelming. So I think what I would want is just for there to be a folder structure that's somewhat similar between the two, so that our tree looks something like source, and then maybe there's like town, and maybe there's like town.cs in here. And then there'd be scenes and town.tscn. In my mind, it doesn't really matter. I don't end up digging into the folders a whole lot. When I'm in Godot, I press Command-Shift-O and just type something like fishing pond and open the scene. And then when I'm in VS Code, I press Command-P and type something like fishing pond and open the C# file. So it doesn't really matter what folders they're in because I rarely go through the folder structure. But I think it's still nice for other developers looking at your code or your scenes to know roughly where to find something. Okay, so where is this thing used? You wouldn't put the CS and the scene next to each other? I don't, but that doesn't mean you can't. If you want to do that, then that's great. The only thing you should keep in mind is that nothing is ever going to enforce that. So Godot doesn't need that to be the case. And if it doesn't need it to be the case, it means that at some point you might move a file and forget that you need to move the scene file as well. And yeah, there's just no real way around that. It's either organize your files occasionally or write a tool yourself that runs on commit, or yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just don't worry about it. That sort of thing. All right, so max fish to render is not the issue here. Where even is the issue? It's this. How do I keep getting turned around? Yeah, so it's only ever done from this thing that we have. So we want to know at any given point how much does this need to be worth? I guess let's put this here. Public long. What do we call this? I guess item value per fish. And then we just rename this to base item value per fish. Yeah, let's do that. Or default or something. And then for this, what we'll do is we'll say this is this times the efficiency level. 1 minus town.player_abilities.get ability. It's going to return null, right? Yeah, it can. And is this generic? Yeah, it is. All right, so more eggs, get efficiency multiplier. This is not how this should work. Get level of ability. It's going to be 0. Why is this a function on here then? Why isn't this static? Yeah, this should just be static. I don't know why it isn't. Oh, because it needs the ID. Oh. Oh, the ID technically comes from data.abilityID, right? Yeah, so there. Last question. It doesn't have to be the last question. Feel free to ask whatever you want. Seen a lot of ways to use signals in C#, one with plus equal, another with connect and signal names. Any that you recommend? And do you use signals or plain C# events? So I don't like the Godot way of doing signals. And we tried a couple of those. And the reason I don't like it is because you need to end your signal handler with the words event handler. So the way this gets connected then, wait a sec. Maybe it's not event handler. Or maybe it is and I just searched for the wrong thing. It needs to end with something like that. I don't remember. Signal name. Maybe it's this. Yeah, you do need to end it with event handler. So you end it with event handler and then you're like, okay, where did I use this thing? And you press F12 on it to try to find out where, and it shows up nowhere because you then need to refer to it without the words event handler. So you have to search for change state and then you find the references. That alone is why I don't like doing the Godot style of this. So I tend to use the C# style. And I wrote some notes. They're all available on notes.adamlearns.com. The specific one that I want to reference here is this one. And I wrote a note about, yeah, here in basics. I'll link this specifically. If you look at this, Godot signals don't always automatically disconnect. I've got a reference link there. So I've got some notes on how you should handle this stuff. The most annoying bugs that I've probably encountered that are my fault are when I forget to disconnect a signal and then I run into errors after disposing something. If you hit them enough times, you eventually realize what's happening, but it does take a while. Hey James, how's it going? Yeah, public notes. I try to just make sure that if I'm just using public knowledge anyway, that I just write it in these lists. And it's helped some people. It's mostly for cases like this where I'm just like, oh, hey, read these couple of bullet points or something. All right, so this was now made static because we want to use it from the extractor. So this is going to be fishing pond more max fish. No, more eggs. Dot get efficiency multiplier. Okay, I think we're good. What am I doing wrong now? This isn't imported. Object reference is required for the non-static field, blah, blah, blah. What am I missing? Property should not follow a method. God, I love that. It's just the greatest error message. Oh, this is not static. Oh, I modified the wrong class. Oh my God. I did not need to make this look like that. Yeah, whoops. I made two fishing abilities and I just forgot which one I was working with at the time. Hey, G Light, do you publish your documentation? I publish those notes. I don't publish the ones that are specific to Skeleseller, if that's what you mean. Do I use AI to code? I do. I use Copilot. Alias AI Copilot. There we go. All right. So now this should work. And now we probably just need to like delete a line or a character and it should work. Can't convert from float to long. So this efficiency multiplier is a float, right? Yeah, in the end, we want this entire thing to be a long. And then instead of using the base item value, we're going to use that item value. Which maybe we should store every time you do this. Doesn't really make a difference. Okay, I want to try this, but this is very, very difficult to test. So let's just print this out. Accumulated item value there. And that should make it a lot easier. All right, let's try it all out. It does have a free tier, but I think it's pretty limiting. But VS Code just added a feature which predicts where you want to make an edit and then will suggest it there. And it's been pretty good when it works. There are other times where I feel like it should work and it should know what I want to do and it doesn't. So I end up waiting for it and then it doesn't do anything and I lose time. But in general, it's been pretty nice. All right, so here's what we're testing. We are going to put in some potions in here and it's going to accumulate. So we just put in one, for example, it's going to say we have 3 accumulated value. Yeah. But now what I want to do is I want to look at this. Does this look good? Extractor efficiency. Allow the extractor to extract more eggs from each potion. I think it should say bonus eggs or something like that. Or eggs bonus. Egg bonus? I'm just going to say bonus. Egg bonus. Sure. All right, so now how do we test this? We're going to put in all of our money into this, which we can't afford. So we're going to make it so we can afford that. All right, so now it's 30% more efficient. So what that means is instead of 50, it's going to go down to 35. So now we accumulate a whole bunch of potions in there. And we should see this value hit 36 and then cycle around. Yeah, perfect. Well, we see it hit 33 because then it goes to 36 and gets wrapped. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. Done with that. Now the last perk is what Bacon Life suggested. Are all the perks going to be straight increases or can you have something like add golden fish that give 2x the scales? I like this idea, but we need a golden fish graphic. And it can't be a random graphic that we use otherwise. we could just take one of the fish and make it look golden. Or we could try to apply something dynamically. Let's go to Skeleseller, game, assets, world, fishing pond, fish. Why did that not load? What happened here? Oh, there it goes. Just took a long time. All right, golden fish. Let's just do colors, hue, chroma. Change the hue. Yeah, I don't think they'd ever look gold if you did this. I think they need to be like glowing or something. I love this. I think we should do this. Toxic fish. Yeah, I think I want something like that going on. Where they just, it's like a rainbow shader or something. We could try modulating. And we could, I'm just worried it's not going to look great. We can load it up in here and try it out though. Fish.png. Yeah, close other tabs. Put this in here. Okay, so here are all the fish. And let's drag this down a little bit. Okay, there are all the fish. And if we were to just change the modulate, I guess we want this to be very bright. Would that look good if you just did this fast enough? I don't think so, because it's tinting kind of weirdly, right? Yeah, I think a shader would be best. I think what I'll do is probably just modify the modulate for now. Oh, wait, we could do that maybe. This probably wouldn't be as obvious that it's a special fish. Well, I was thinking modulate to gold, but then I thought it might not be obvious. I think it needs to be some like it's glowing kind of thing. In fact, even adding our shader that we have. Canvas item shader, not that. Shader material, outline. Yeah, if we did something like this, I think that would help. But I don't think it could look like the same thing as item destination. So I think we would need to make a special thing just for the fish. But yeah, I think an outline would be good. And yeah, I remember your whole gamer trees thing. So we could probably just use that. In fact, why don't we just put this on here for now? But I do like this idea quite a lot. Also, I didn't give Bacon Life a point, did I? No, I didn't. There you go. You're on the leaderboard now. Thanks for the suggestion. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. We call this something like not toxic fish, but glowy fish. Glowy fish. Okay, I like that. Is glowy even actually a word? Glowy. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, okay, glowy fish. And then we say something like plus X% chance for a fish to glow, which doubles the scales that they're worth. Phrasing can be worked on a little bit. And then we just make the percent chance. Or no, it shouldn't be plus X%. It should be X% because there is no percent to begin with. So it's going to be 0%. And then like, honestly, this should probably not be a large percentage. But it does make me think that small percentages are not fun. So we should probably make it like 0% to... Well, what should be the max level, I guess? Maybe 25%, one out of every 4 fish. Yeah. Okay, so 25% is a max. What should be the intermediate values? Maybe like... Maybe 6%, 12%, 18%, 25%. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I think this is what we'll do. And I'll just start them with the outline shader, and we eventually make a rainbow version. Yeah. Okay, let's go code this. Oh, wait, we need an icon. Let's go get an icon. Game icons. Fish. Is there anything that makes it look like a glowy fish? Oh, why didn't I see this originally? Huh. Those probably would have worked a lot better than whatever I used. Well, I guess they're temporary icons anyway. And whatever I'm about to come up with is also a temporary icon, so let's just pick the most appropriate one of these. None of these look like they're glowing. Also, that would have worked even better. More fish. What am I doing? And none of these really work. Maybe a light bulb. Yeah, sure. All right, so this is by Lork. Go into downloads, take a light bulb, put it into icons, ability icons. All right, go get that icon ID. This is going to be called glowy fish. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's going to be called light bulb. You can already have light bulb. Light bulb, and it's by Lork. Icon data, lightning, light bulb, Lork, light bulb. Now we go add an ability ID. This is going to be fishing pond glowy fish. Save this. Okay, we get the light bulb graphic. We call this glowy fish. And what were the numbers I wanted? These. This is going to be chance, glow chance. Looks good. Delete this. Didn't we not have it look like that? I know the AI just changed it right there, but I don't remember what it used to look like. More fish, max fish, whatever. Yeah, just like that. Okay. All right, put glow chance here. Get glow chance, I guess. Get glow chance. All right, so what do we call this? Glow chance? Sure. All right, what's our fun flavor text for this? Where's what I wrote? Ah, here it is. Would you use for getting the line counts? I'm guessing probably SLOC, SLOC, source line code. Or what is it? Clock? It's called clock, I think. Yeah, command line tool that counts blank lines, etc. It was Kevin who did it, but I'm guessing that Kevin used clock. Sorry, that is not that's not the right link. Let me find the right link. I think this is the tool I've used at least in the past. But yeah, Kevin used something different, so never mind. My assumption is wrong. Either way, I would expect most tools to count lines the same way. Parse into an abstract syntax tree, count number of statements or something. And that way, if you have one line split over like 4 editor lines, it doesn't count it as 4 lines. Oh, wait. Oh, that cleared my clipboard. I want this back here. All right. Add a chance for a fish to glow in battle, which doubles the skills that they're worth. In battle, we don't really call it battling, right? I don't really care. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, so now we want to make them glow, which means that the fish themselves need that shader, but only the glowy ones do. Battler is fish component. Yeah, so here's where we do this stuff. So we would add in this thing. So this comes from fishing pond glowy fish dot get glow chance. And the chance comes from the town, which we don't have. We don't even have the player abilities here. Well, that's a shame. Why don't we just pass in the battle system when we do this? Does the battle system have access to that? Does it have player abilities? No, I think it all used to. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this used to. And then I got rid of battle mods or whatever they were. Oh, man. All right, well, the town is here. I guess anytime we create a battler, we could just pass it in. Although, why is this here? This never gets used. Oh, it never gets used here, but it's probably used for the regular battle system or something. Yeah. It's not even used for that. It's used for the fishing battle system, I think. Yep. That's it. That's why it's used. That's the one reason to get the fishing pond. And it can't be null. Hmm. Do you need GitLens subscription? No, that's everything you see me doing here in VS Code is free except for Copilot. And Copilot is actually technically free now too, but with limits. So you can do everything that I'm doing except for the extent to which I'm using Copilot. Then you have to pay money. I'm paying after tax like $11 a month. So it's not expensive when you consider how much time you're probably saving. Well, assuming you're making any money from doing your own development, which I'm not right now. All right, how do I want to do this? If we just save this in the battle system, I guess we'd have it so that then it could be passed into each battler. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah. Private town. All right, let's do that. And in init, we save this off. I did not mean to do that. And then when we create the battlers, here we'll pass in the town. This is all for the sake of just fish. Yeah. I don't like this. Yeah, I think this is dumb. Where do we set up their animation frames? Here. We do it in ready. So if after we've made the battler, we just give them a town component, it would be fine. I mean, that technically is how this is supposed to work. So I guess let's change that around. So the init wouldn't change here. Although it doesn't make a difference whether we pass it in, whether we add it outside of this. Yeah, I changed my mind. All right. Add component, town component. Done. $1 billion project. I don't think there's any world in which it becomes a $1 billion project. Yeah. And I don't think that's a problem. Like, how many indie games have ever made more than $1 billion other than Minecraft? In fact, have any made more than $1 billion other than Minecraft? Indie games making more than $1 billion. List of highest grossing video games. Okay, here is the at least 1 billion category. Print Club. What? What is this? Sticker booths. How did this make $1 billion? I'm actually pretty impressed that some of these games are on here, but none of these are indie games other than Minecraft. Yeah, now what about the $2 billion one? Township. I haven't heard of that. Yeah. What is this? This can't be right. I don't think this can be right. No, there's no way. Because I saw Super Mario 64 on here. That couldn't have made $2 billion. Right? That sounds absurd. The adjusted for inflation is the next column, though. The nominal amount is the first one. And it says even not adjusted for inflation, it's 2.2 billion. Like, that's got to be wrong. There's just no way. And I know Super Mario 64 was on multiple platforms, but each individual platform could not have made it like $500 million, right? There's a reference. I'm not clicking that. I'm just going to be enraged about their stats being wrong. Mario. Mario is a video game franchise. Okay, that's a lot of sales. That's not Super Mario 64. Where are they getting this from? You can't just put a link to your own wiki as the reference, right? Is this the nominal cost of revenue? It says 1 billion. I don't know how they got to 2 billion out of this then. Because even if you add all these numbers up, it doesn't make 2 billion. In 21. Their average price that they're quoting is $87 for the game? In what world is that true? US price 70. That wasn't how much N64 games cost. I don't know what they're doing there. Terraria made over $1 billion? I remember looking at the stats recently and I estimated it was probably like 600 million, but I don't know. Total, that's right, gross revenue. Also, hey Wendy. Yeah, it's estimated to have made about $500 million. And Terraria is like one of the best-selling games on Steam as far as indie games go. But that's what makes me say I know I got sidetracked and no one really cares if I make $1 billion or not, but I don't think there's any real chance of that happening with Skeleseller because I don't think it has the mass appeal of a game like Terraria or Stardew Valley. And I just can't imagine that this unlocked something in the market that people didn't know was there. Also, hi Rimo. I'd probably lower your hopes under $1 billion. Well, now that's just, you're a jerk, Wendy. You don't want me to fly high. All right, we saved off the town. We did not save everywhere that this is called, so we need to do that. Ban Wendy. What a naysayer. Like, come on. I think this game could make $10 billion. Doesn't matter that I just said before that it couldn't. But now Wendy said it couldn't. Just what a jerk. All right, town equals town component. Get town from this. And then get this from the player abilities. And write that as glow chance. So then if stat computations dot percent chance. So if you will glow, then we need to apply glowy shader. For now, let's just set the modulate on the sprite. Oh, we can't do that. Yeah, we can't do that because we already modulated here. And every time it takes damage, it's going to get modulated again. If it makes $1 billion, can I have some, please? For the arrow? You said I could have that free of charge. I will give 100 bits in your channel if if it makes $1 billion. Change self-modulate. That might work. I wasn't sure if it would get overridden. Sprite.self-modulate equals red. I'm so hungry. Could you please spare a bit or two? All right, let's try this out. Oh, if we're going to try this out, let's make it so that glowy fish have a much higher chance. So maybe we'll just multiply all these numbers by 4. Whoops. There. Okay, so now it's 24%, 48%, 72%, and 1. Oh, I guess because we jumped up a little higher then. All right, let's try it out. Windy the Mood Destroyer. How's it going, Windy? I was just mentioning this earlier, but I haven't really been watching a lot of Twitch lately. Or at least not a lot of variety stuff on Twitch. I guess later at night I'm watching a guy play Hearthstone. A reddish, beardish man. Okay, so glowy fish are only when you enter battle. So we need to... Oh, I forgot to add it. There's no perk to even upgrade. How silly of me. It is fishing pond glowy fish. I don't care about the prices. What are the parentheses at the end of the class name? Never seen the syntax in C#. That's probably the primary constructor that you're seeing. Yeah. So I'll find you a resource on the C# primary, or maybe it's default constructor. I don't know what they call it exactly. No, maybe it's default constructor. Yeah. No, wait. Some special syntax. I don't know what the name of this is. Oh, it is primary constructor. Yeah. So do they have a link on that? It's just shorthand. It's syntactic sugar for having made this over here. And that way you don't have to do it. And I think it also stores those parameters as member variables. If it were to blow up, what would be the follow plan? Look, I think the odds of that happening are probably pretty low, but we never know. So the plan right now is basically like work toward launch, then based on how the game does, choose how to support it. So if it got like 1K in sales in the first month, I would probably like ditch the game completely. If it made like, I don't know, more than, I'm just making up numbers here, right? I don't actually have these targets. I'm not going to come up with these targets. It's going to be based on gut feeling. But let's say it's like 10K in sales in the first month. It's probably going to be like support it and see how sales continue to do. And then if it's greater than, let's say, I don't know, 100K in sales in the first year, yeah, just keep repeating this. At some point, right, you've got to say, okay, I'm not supporting this game any longer. And it'll probably be based on sales more than be based on like my lifespan or something. So yeah, the sales will eventually kind of abate, and I'll move on to something else maybe. I'm not sure. I'm back. Oh well, you can just read what's on here. This is the answer to your question. This is why I'm glad I typed this stuff out. And I did mention though that I made up those numbers. So it's possible that I'm like, oh, the game made whatever, $100,000 in the first month, and I'm like, it's just not worth working on. I'd be very surprised if I did that. I can't read, so can you repeat it? Actually, I can't speak in slow motion, so I'll speak in fast motion, and then you slow down the video. All right, glowy fish. So we're gonna upgrade this to like half. There, so it's about a 50% chance. Now we enter battle, and we see if any fish are red. Yes, they are. There's a red fish, so this is working. Now we ideally should get more fish in the game, so let's go do that. Click this thing. Click this thing. Drag this over there. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work anymore because we upped the amount that it costs to do that. No. I need like 1,000,000 potions now. There we go. All right, now let's see. 3 red fish, 3 regular ones, 2 more red fish, 2 regular ones. Yeah, okay. It looks like it's working. It's about 50%. After next game? Are you asking if I plan on doing another game after this one? Because the answer is yes, although I don't know if I'll go immediately to a new game. Will you work on anything so it's harder to crack somehow? No, I don't think so. I think there are 2 parts of that question. What's going on right now? Stopping piracy and stopping cheating, I have no plans to stop this. Like, we have a JSON save file, and it's just in plain text. I don't even think I want to change it from plain text. Like, you could try some kind of obfuscation or any. It just doesn't, like, what's the point of this? But stopping piracy, I don't even know how you do that. Like, I guess you submit DMCA notices to sites that don't care because they're made to be piracy sites. Like, how would you even go about stopping this? And maybe one thing you could do is try to distribute the pirated versions yourself, and they have some limit to them. I think that would be kind of cool because I've seen people do kind of clever things. Like, I wouldn't do it to try to stop people from pirating the game, but what if it, I don't know, all the fish were like pirate graphics or something, and I was like, hey, you should consider buying the game every 10 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I don't plan on doing anything for any of this stuff. And that's the beauty of a single player game, right? Nobody cares if you cheat other than you, unless you're a streamer, I guess, and your viewers care. Yeah, you're not hurting anybody else. Okay, so we got our glowy fish, but we don't have the right, we don't have a shader on these. So now I want to add a shader, but I don't know where we have the shader outline. It's there. We should be able to just add this, right? Sprite.shader. Material? Material. Okay, I don't know how this works. We have to make a new shader material and then put this inside of there, right? What is this? Shader material, shader material. All right, now we need to set the shader on here. Yeah, it is a shader program, so we needed to use the resource loader, presumably. And we can combine this into this. Okay, now we gotta get the path to the outline shader. Outline shader, copy path. And then we gotta set some parameters on this. I keep typing shadow. Uniforms? How do you set uniform? Set shader parameter. Oh, wow, look at that. All right, now what are the parameters? Line width, transparency. All we care about is alter line over time. Copy value. And we just set that to true. That didn't work. I guess I wanted to copy the path anyway. True, and there we go. All right, how does that look? In fact, how about this? Let's just make it so that all fish do this if true or % chance. Yeah, that way I don't need to click anything else. Hey, Puelo. For cheating in a single player game, if people want to cheat, it only affects their experience. Yeah, I look at this sort of like how I look at if you were to steal a physical good. Let me thoroughly clarify because otherwise it's going to be taken the wrong way. If you have, let's say, a bike and you don't lock it up and you just put it on the side of the street and you go into a restaurant or something, it's probably going to get stolen. And that's going to be a crime of opportunity. Someone just sees that a bike is not locked up and they take it. And if you put like the weakest lock on it, you're going to stop 99% of theft just because people are going to be like, oh, not worth breaking a lock for it. The determined people who are going to steal that bike no matter what anyway are still going to steal that bike. I think it's kind of the same way with modifying save files. Like if you put them in total plain text, yeah, some people might get curious and they might just out of curiosity just go edit some values and figure some things out. If you were to just zip that file, now those people are probably going to be like, oh, it's probably a proprietary format or something. So now you cut out like 30% of those people. Then if you do any sort of obfuscation, like let's say you just XOR all of the bits or something like that. Again, something very easy for dedicated people to figure out. Now you've stopped like 80% of the people. So is it worth doing any of that? I don't really think so. We don't even have leaderboards in the game. And even if we had leaderboards, again, you just figure this out on your own anyway at some point. Mostly follow on YouTube. Looks very good. Well, thanks, Spoiler. Yeah. If you don't have leaderboards, there's no point. I mean, even if you have leaderboards, I still don't think you can totally stop people from cheating. All right, so we should see glowy fish here. We don't, which means I messed something up. Cannot load shader, outline shader, failed loading resource. Make sure resource have been imported by opening the project. I've definitely done that. There's something. Oh, wait, that was pasted twice. My bad. We have name and password saved with a simple obfuscation of work only for a test software. Not being text readable will deter most. Yeah, like I said, we could have some simple thing to deter people a little bit. In fact, somebody commented on this recently. I think they gave me feedback on the feedback forum. Yeah, whoever the newest person was said something like, "Hey, the save file is just in plain text," and they didn't say like this is bad or this is wrong. They just literally stated a fact. And I don't know, are they bothered by that? Do they think that's a bug? Where is it? Let me see if I can find the feedback. Yeah, this is the only feedback they left was this one sentence. The save file is not encrypted, allowing me to modify any values I want. And I think it's good that they pointed this out. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they thought this is probably a bug, so let's let the developer know that it's a bug. But yeah, I don't really consider that to be a bug. All right, we still... Oh, no, we do have glowy fish, but they're being affected by the... they're being affected by the modulate, which I think there's a way to stop. And now also we're going to need to make the sprites have a script, and the script has to be the texture thingy. But how do we do that? Because the sprite's already created. If we were to do this, this only gets done in ready. We need to add the, oh wait, no. There's a way to do this inside the Atlas texture, right? Here, crop. I think that'll work. Hey, who cares? Or save it as a different file extension. Have the program import the file as a zip file to unzip. Yeah, I still... The only thing stopping any of this is just the thought of like, why are we doing this? It's not that there's a large technical complexity to it. It literally is just zip a file and unzip it if we want to perform something basic, or XOR a bunch of bits and then XOR them back. I just don't really see a point. All right, this should fix one of the issues. Something's wrong with that sprite. Like the tail is getting cut off for the outline. You need to crop the sprite frames, so need to use texture crop animated 2D. Yeah. Yeah, in which case we would do this right inside of Battler. Yeah. Oh, that's only for the sake of fish. Shader also needs expand to be set to true. Oh, is that done on these other ones? Oh, it's turned on by default. It might not get that by default when you add it through code. Expand. No, it should be on by default, I think. Let's just try that first bit and see if that's enough to get this to work. Just add some nice text comments. You really want to cheat, set this value to true. Did that fix it? I can't even tell. No, it did not fix it. Okay, yeah. So let's try. Oh wait, what's this? Object reference not set to an instance of an object, because we don't have an animation at the point that this is added. Yeah, this is what I was concerned about. All right, we need to set this script here, but then we also need to like have a function that's going to do the animated or the texture cropping. What does this do exactly? It goes through every animation. So we should make this a static function that we could call on anything and that ready happens to call. I think that'll be good. Then we detach the script from here. Yeah, public static. Oh wait, yeah, like you said, put it as an extension, right? Extension, texture extension. Is it on a texture? No, it's got to be on an animated sprite. For now, I'll just make it a static function, and then we can make something else afterward. So we'll say crop animated sprite 2D. All right, now all this stuff goes up here. This is... Why was this already the word sprite? What? Oh, it's not. Oh my God, that's AI confusing me. That's the second time that's happened today. I'm like, how is this possibly there? I haven't written this code yet, and that's why, is because I have this feature on that writes code predicting it's going to be there. It's just so hard to tell that that was added in like that. I need this background to be like bright pink or something. How do I change that? There's got to be a way to do that, right? VS Code. I don't know what that feature is called though. It's this. Next edit suggestions. VS Code, this colors. There's got to be a way to change that. Editor suggest widget. Problem is, I don't know what that particular color is called. Do they have a way to customize it here? They don't. Man, it's probably the same as some other color that I don't want to modify. All right, so open up preferences, add the following new property. Editor suggest widget. Any changes in here somewhere? Next edit suggestion, no. All right, I don't know. It's too bad. Is there some other thing you can change on this? No suggestion. Copilot, next edit suggestion. No, it's already been done, so it doesn't. I just want to change the color on it. Let me do that. It's a good suggestion, and it looks like it's getting all of these correctly. Yeah, it just changed the entire function for me without me having to ask, and even called this. Wow, pretty good job, AI. Now, if only we were clear that it was going to do that. All right, so now we just need to call this. We don't even need to add a script for this, which is nice. Sprite or texture crop animated 2D. Okay, how's that? It's things like this that make me glad that I'm coding this on stream, because like I wouldn't have had this idea, and if I hadn't been coding on stream, Kevin wouldn't have worked on the project. Then I wouldn't have that script. Yeah, there's a lot of things that have been made better. Is it good? I think it's impossible to tell with these fish. Let's start another battle. We need them to be. Wait a second. Is it picking the same fish every time? No. It needs to be the larger fish. Come on, stop picking tiny fish. Where are the big fish? There's like two graphics. Oh, wait, maybe that one would have worked. Yeah, and it looks good to me, but I'm pretty sure there's an even bigger fish that we'll see eventually. Maybe I'm just making that up. Maybe it's already cycled through all of them. Maybe this is stupid, and what I really should be doing is putting more fish in the fishing pond. Oops, I forgot to turn that on. Oh, wait, I did turn it on. Oh, we're already at 3. Oh, 3 is the max. Let's upgrade that to 10. Give me those fish. Wait, is this shrinking them? I can't tell. Am I just making up that there was another fish graphic? I might have been. I think that's the largest one, and it looks good. I think we're fine. The best developer in the world. I definitely would not call myself the best developer in the world. I believe you've dropped a kappa from your message. All right, cool. This is all working. Let's put this back and change this back. I don't think this should be needed because it's on by default. We are going to set the material of this. I wonder if we ever need to free the old one. I don't think so. All right, how about we do this? Like set up fish animation frames. And then just move all this code to that. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, pretty good. Nothing wrong there. Okay, so is that everything? Let's take a look at all the things we just did. Check without making all fish glow so we see both at the same time. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we added 3 perks. And they all show up here. So max fish, increase the maximum number of fish that your pond can hold. Like I said, it's roughly tripling every time, which maybe that's too much to increase by, but let's set this to 35. Then the extractor efficiency, allow the extractor to extract more eggs from each potion. Sure. And then glowy fish. Add a chance for a fish to glow in battle, which doubles. Oh, I never even coded that. The whole part of them glowing. All I did is make them glow. I didn't make them worth more scales. Whoops. Oh, let's write that down before I forget. Make glowy fish actually worth more. Store in there is fish component. Whether they're glowing. Okay, so now our fish can hold 35 fish. And let's put in a bunch of workers and a bunch of items. They should drag these down here. They should make a bunch of fish. Yep, 7, 8, 9. That ogre blood was worth a lot. 14 fish. Okay, so now we go battle the fish. No, wait, no. We should just put in the rogue. That way we can actually see the fish. All right, and there is one glowy fish, but it's unique. I want a non-unique one that glows. I think it's messed up. Yeah, no, it's definitely messed up. You can see the eyeball here is 1 pixel and the eyeball over here is 2 pixels. I knew it. I knew the fish were bigger. So then is expand off by default? How would that be possible? Set shader parameter. Huh. Wonder if that'll fix things. It's set to true right in the shader. And I don't think there can be anything else going on here. Unless it's that I need to crop them before I apply the shader, but I don't even think that would do it. Let's click all these things again. I really need to add in that debug function. It's going to let me just grant fish in the pond directly. All right, let's put a bad character into the battle. There. That work? I don't see a glowing cup. No, it's not working still. Man, something's going on here. Yeah, all the ones that are glowing have a single pixel for their eyeballs. Classic. Oh, except for that one. Maybe we're not positioning them at integer coordinates then. Or something else is going on? Because this one's outlined and it's possibly fine. I'm not sure what's happening right now then. Oh, wait a second. Won't this? No, this should be fine. Huh. What is this doing? Does this have to do with a sub viewport, I wonder? Like the fish look fine over here. I wonder if we just outlined them here, if they would look bad. Probably not. Let's try it though. Fish in pond, give you a shader. And it looks fine so far. All right, now we launch this. I know there's some glitchiness going on there, but I think this is just a problem with the battle. I think I know what's going on, and I think it's gonna be super annoying to fix. Just speed this up so we get a bunch of fish. Oh, I shouldn't have upgraded the max fish if I wanted to do that. Or well, whatever. Just keep pumping some potions into here. There. All right. Yeah, none of these look bad. I think it's coming from the viewport that we're using. But why would that happen? You don't need to fix it if we're going to use a different shader for them. Well, I'm not gonna use a shader in this if that's what you're talking about. These are just meant to be representative of the amount of fish you have, which is probably going to confuse people at some point. Oh man, this isn't messing up their eyeballs though. Not scaling them. What's going on? What's wrong with this? Oh, is it because of the size of this? No, this doesn't have a size. Never sent any sprite frames. Thought you wanted to use a shader that gave them color or something? Or do you want to keep the outline? I wanted them to be outlined with like a rainbow color. So pretty similar to the shader we have, just with different colors. Although it could change it could just make the fish look like it's rainbow. Either thing is fine, and I should probably write this down for eventually. Make a proper shader for glowy fish in battle. What's causing this? Also, did I leave that in? Accumulated item value. What is causing this? The problem here is that we render battles in a sub viewport. And then I guess we apply some kind of, why is this not working? We apply some kind of scaling to it. No, it's only a problem with the shader. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's why Kevin said not to worry about it. Oh, man. But why is even that happening? I don't understand that. All right, how about we try something here? Let's add in a fish sprite. Let's actually just put a fish in pond into the battle thing. So now every battle is gonna have a fish graphic next to them, just kind of floating there. And we'll even crop this. And what this will let me do is not struggle to repro this thing. So now we'll just see if that fish looks bad in the battle. Maybe the UV messed up or something. Yeah. But I wonder if there's a fix for this. So we can just join a regular battle, and now we should see a fish next to the bat end of the row. Yeah. These look like they're rendering fine. Maybe there's just some other parameter that I'm not using that I need to be using. Yeah, because that looks okay. What else would that be, though? Line width, line color, transparency threshold. Maybe I need to make it local to scene. Would that even make sense when I'm doing it through code? The other problem is that I guess all the fish share a sprite frame. And by doing things this way, that they won't anymore. Hmm. I guess the easiest way to test that is just add a fish into the instance itself. Yeah. That way we don't need to do anything special. Instance slot. Where do we store this stuff? I guess anywhere under here is fine. What is this going to test? It's not fish and pond, it's battler. But battler uses the fish frame, which fish and pond uses too. But it didn't get initialized. Okay. Yeah. Let's put this in here. So add child. Yeah, we're also going to add in a fish in pond. Right here. Add this to the viewport. So we instantiate this scene, add it to the scene. Then what does this do? This isn't going to call any of this stuff. Yeah. I just needed to come up with these things. Let's just say public void testeroni. Copy all this in there. And then delete anything that doesn't matter. Like this. This. Alpha and scale. This is for the fish in the pond, so this shouldn't matter either. Frames, that sounds good. Scale doesn't matter. Modulate doesn't matter. Fade, nav, speed. Yeah, cool. So then do fish dot testeroni. Good. Let's try that out. Do we try cropping without adding the shader just to make sure that doesn't affect it? I don't think so. It might be that that's doing it. Although we do that. No, maybe we don't crop it for battlers. Maybe that would make battlers look messed up too. Shouldn't we see a fish in here somewhere? Yeah, there it is. Is it the upper left? It actually does look fine. Its eyeball doesn't look messed up, but we should move that a little bit. Fish dot position plus equal vector 2 dot. Actually, let's just say plus equal new vector 2. We'll just move it by like 100 pixels in both directions. And maybe we should do this a bunch of times. I is less than 5, I plus plus. Okay, and do I times 20, I times 20. I guess we're still not going to see the first one. It'll be up at the upper left. But now we can just hit create instance and it'll do this. Yeah, like that looks a little messed up, but it doesn't look like everything's totally breaking. Whoops, I accidentally captured the tooltip. Didn't mean to do that. This is a fish in pond though. It does have texture crop on it. Didn't look like there was a problem though, right? Why does that look fine? What is the difference here? I make a shader material with the shader. I set the couple of parameters that I need. I crop this here. I wonder if cropping it first matters. or just not cropping. Yeah, I can try without the shader too. Guess we got to start this here. I think it's fine. They're never going to get outlined though, so I don't know what I'm testing right now. Yeah, if there's no shader, then everything does look good. I guess we didn't technically test like this. Oh man, what's the next thing I want to do? I want to set it so that the fishing pond starts with just as many fish as I need. Fish count equals 15. These are the kinds of things that it'd be great if these just never happened. This is, oh, I have a maximum of 3 that I'm allowed. Yeah, they look fine as long, so it's just the shader that's causing these to get messed up. And I'm not sure why that would cause this to happen. Yeah, I don't have an explanation. Yeah, I need them to glow. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Oh, wait. Never mind. That's not what I'm doing now. Forgot to change this back to true. Well, if we can get this working, then the rest of this feature is not too bad. At least the perk stuff. Yeah, these all look messed up. Actually, not all of them, but they're probably all messed up in slightly different ways. You're getting squashed. I just don't know why this would happen. I filed a bug on Godot for this, and they said, rightfully so, that it was my mistake. That when you have a sub viewport, you've got to be careful about how you're scaling it. So you shouldn't use any graphics at the wrong resolution, basically. And I shouldn't be doing that though. But it's possible that by setting this to expand, that we actually are changing the size of this thing. In which case, it's going to be very, very annoying to figure out what the solution is. I bet if we turn this off, yeah, it might fix this. It'll make it look bad. Well, I guess it's going to look bad no matter what, unless we figure out the true problem here. But yeah, I bet if we turn off expand, it won't have the tiny eyeballs anymore. That's a weird glitch. It has to do with how you scale things up. So imagine that you had an image, like let's say you took a picture of this whole screen. So like here's my image, right? It's got a ton of pixels in it. And now you cut it down to just 4 pixels in a 2x2 grid. And you say, okay, this one's going to be blue, and this one's going to be black, and this one's going to be black, and this one's going to be red. And that's what we got out of the screen. When you take just these 4 pixels, and you size them back up, you have no idea what was there. You can't tell from just 4 pixels. And that's pretty much what's happening here. It's not like all the data is there and it's just rendering in a low resolution. It's just not even there anymore. That's what a sub viewport texture is basically doing. Did this fix the eyeballs? I think it did. Yeah, okay, so that's what the problem is. By expanding their UVs, we're causing them to scale weirdly. I don't know what we do about that. That's going to be very hard to figure out. Why does this happen? Why are they squashed? They're squashed because our shader is actually adding, it's taking the image and then it's drawing outside of that image a little bit. And then I guess it's scaling weirdly. I'm not actually sure why that causes a problem. The expand stuff is all here. And yeah, if we turn that off, the problem doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, how would we fix this? You can't just arbitrarily move vertices. Bug with the current shader. We need expand to be able to draw an outline around the crop textures. But by doing so, the fish look, yeah, like squashed for some reason. So what should we be doing in the sub viewport? Is the config option that we're not using correctly? It could be, but I don't know. And we have other problems if we're going to use a sub viewport container anyway. Yeah, I don't know what we would even change in here. What's happening? My guess is that it's not considering the size of what we're shading, because we're shading more than what the image actually is. So we're rendering to the same space, and that's why it's looking squashed. It's possibly because we're trying to render to the size of the sprite itself inside a sub viewport container. I don't know what you should do about this. Has anyone talked about this sort of thing? Whoops. Whoops. Why is this not pasting? Pixel art scaling shader in sub viewport container works in the editor, but not when the game is run. What are they saying is actually wrong here? Not being applied to every sprite individually. Instead, the resulting pixel data of the viewport is modified. We're not doing this though. I think a workaround here could just be drawing the outline inside the sprite and changing that specific color. Yeah. We could do that for sure. But let's say we wanted to fix this issue. How would we? Because I feel like this is one of the things, like I usually can identify, well, it's easy to identify a problem. I can usually identify a best solution and then what we're going to do. And sometimes it's the best solution and sometimes it's purposely cutting a corner. I don't even know what the solution is if we wanted to do this thing. Like, how would we stop this from happening? And we might determine that that's too much work, but I don't even know what we would do. Change size 2D override to 1920 by 1080 and change size 2D override stretch to off. 1920, 1080. All right, let's try that out. Huh. Okay, well, the buttons are not rendering inside the battle anymore. But that notwithstanding, we can still go into a fishing battle. I think that fixed it. No. I have expand. Do I have expand off? This fish is not rendering correctly. The one at the bottom right. But I think expand is off right now. Yeah, it is off. You need to turn this on. If we don't turn it on, then the bug doesn't even repro. So none of that was a valid test. But this is. No, these are still squashed. Look at that poor fish. with its messed up eye. Yeah, I don't know. We'll need a different shader for sure because I don't know what the proper solution is. Let's go fix instance slot and not mess this up anymore. It's just a shame because if we ever try doing this for something like the adventurers, it's going to fail. Well, thanks for suggesting it because like I said, I don't have any ideas. I don't even know what we could do here. And then there was the instance slot that I modified to add this. We don't want that anymore. Okay, well, before I forget, let's go wrap up this perk because it should not be very hard to do. There's an isFish component already, and we'll just put a boolean here. Public bool is glowing or is glowy. Get set. Done. Now in battler. That does technically contain battler, but that's not what I wanted. Now in here we get their component ecs.get component is fish component. Set that it's glowing. And then use this from when you defeat a fish. So there is somewhere here caught fish. There it is. Caught fish. Get component or null is fish component. Battler. All right. So if C is not equal to null, then caught fish, and I guess say whether it's glowy in here. So now caught fish bool is glowy. And scales to grant is going to be equal to this times 2 or 1. There. Okay, and then everything should just work because we return the number of scales we're granting, which is why I coded the function that way. Where did that go? Num scales earned. So then we're going to render that at the end. Okay, yeah, let's try that. What build is taking 15 minutes, Merkin? Because that sounds like a very long time to wait for a build. Unless you're doing something like, super production build that's got a bunch of checks on. But hopefully your development builds are not taking that long. All right, so ignoring the fish in the pond, which should not have a shader to begin with, if we were to grant glowy fish, let's grant it to the maximum level. And now enter a battle and hope there's a glowy fish. Oh, there's a problem here. Oh, there's a big problem here. Oh, I just thought of this. Oh, man. Bug. Glowy fish are determined every time a fish is added to a battle. So if you want, you can just flee the battle till you find a glowy fish. Yeah, that's not good. We're gonna have to fix that. All right, well, they're all considered glowy here. So I'm gonna let one die, which should give me 2 scales this time instead of 1. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, shiny Pokemon hunting. Oh, I'm glad, Presel. So yeah, I think this is probably working. How would we stop you from doing that? Let's see. There are a bunch of ways. I guess let's write it here. Option 1 is remove the fish from your pond as soon as you enter battle and don't refund them at the end. And honestly, we might even just go with that option. Option 2 is to keep track of whether a fish is glowy in the pond itself. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, that would be a punishment for fleeing, right? You get into a battle, you see that there are 3 fish, and you're like, okay, I'm done now. And you leave, and now the 3 fish go away for good. We're actually very nice about how this works right now. So see how it says 14 fish in the pond? If I go battle there again, it now says 5 fish, and now I flee, and it's back up to 14. So it only temporarily puts them into the battle, and if you kill them while they're in the battle, then fine, they're gone for good. But we refund the fish at the end. And part of the reason for that is because you might have like 500 fish in the pond, and I don't want to take 9 of them from you just because you were like, all right, I got to do something else now. We can note down what they are and recover those first in the next battle. Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably the way to go. I don't think I like this. It just doesn't fit the game philosophy. So we refund fish to the pond and then store whether they were glowy. Or what we do is just say refunded fish can't be glowy. Alternatively, option 3, by the way, is just leave this. Not many people will discover it, and not many of the people who discover it will care to abuse it. But yeah, I think something like option 2 is best. I think that bug is worth fixing later, though. Okay, yeah, let's get this ready for check-in. I don't like that the fish are squashed, but I don't really know what we're supposed to do about it for right now. All right, so an SVG, don't care about looking at these. We know the icons are fine. Do they have the right texture thing? This should not be glowy. Where would we even find that? In here? Icon is set to linear. Yeah, that's probably fine. All right, added 3 new abilities. We have glowy fish. We have more eggs. And we have more max fish. We did not get the UID files for all of those somehow. All right, now we run from here and we do get all the UID files. Yep. Great, let's keep looking. I have no idea about prices. I just set them to something. Those probably need to be changed. In fact, we should probably consider that a little bit, right? What do we have? Fishing pond, max fish. Oh, this all comes from here. Yeah, I also don't like that they're copy pasted. So more max fish. I think that one's pretty valuable. More eggs. It's probably even more valuable than that one. So maybe we should lower this a little bit. 200, 300, 400. And then glowy fish will potentially double a fish. So this makes it so that potions can produce more fish, which is then limited by your maximum. But this makes it so that whatever fish you do have could be doubled in value. We could have another upgrade on top of this, by the way, which says something like your glowy fish are worth even more scales. There's probably a way to figure out how much this should cost, because this is like every potion's worth 10% more. So after whatever, like 1,000 gold worth of potions, you would have paid for this. And this is saying every fish is potentially worth more, and every fish would have cost like 50, and it's going to be worth 6% more on average. So it probably shouldn't be as expensive as glowy, or as expensive as more eggs. I don't know. Let's set this to that. There, done. Are we not adding this to game constants, like the costs? No, I don't think so. I think if anything, they'd be located here, or they'd be located in the ability. But I mean, we could certainly pull them from. Wait a second. No, they should be in the ability because they need to match the number of levels that are here. They're just not there because I was lazy. But I'm not going to worry about that now either because that was already the case. All right, well, we changed the cost a bit. We're now initializing battlers with the town so that we can get their ability. That's fine. This isn't needed. This is just to be able to get this here for glowy abilities, yeah. All right, that's looking good. Oh, these can't be done. Let's start you with only one fish. I think starting you with two is fine. As long as we don't start you with the maximum. Looks good. Looks bad. Make sure we didn't leave that in anywhere. No. All right, pretty good. Checking everything other than town. Yeah. Cool. Add fishing perks. There are 3 perks and they all work, but the glowy fish can sometimes look squashed due to the shader that we use expanding the yeah, I guess expanding the sprite itself and the sprite rendering in a sub viewport container. Used to leave banana comments in committed code. Banana images. Ah, man, I'm torn on that stuff. I feel like if you're writing a comment anyway, that writing it in a humorous way could be okay. But like just leaving outright bananas in your code is it's pretty silly. It's just another thing that people have to ignore that some like automated tool could later find and treat it like, oh, that's an actual comment that we need to fix. Makes it harder to find what you're looking for. All right, so where we leave off here? This is done. This I'm not going to do. This is done. Oh, yeah. Can't be that predictable. So save all this stuff now. What else do we need to save? Save which perks you got. How long have I been online for? Yeah, about 6 hours. I usually try to aim for about 6 hours. We could code this. We could even possibly just get it done in the next half hour. How hard could it really be? It's a banana. Save how many fish you have, save how many skills you have, save which perks you got. I guess restore. Make sure we restore the right efficiency values in max fish. Famous last words. Well, let's start. Why not? Right. Why not? So how you doing, Nocta? There's a name I do not say all the time. Oh, what's that hoodie he just put on? Was that +3 to developing Skeleseller? Playing the demo, having fun? I'm glad. You know, something that was a little concerning to me is that the median playtime has been dropping. I don't know why. I think at its highest, it had worked its way up to an hour and 20 minutes. And it's just been like, it's been going down by about a minute every day. Like, what would cause that? Is there a way to see this in? Oh, that's what? Oh, I see. I see how this is. Oh my God. I was confused for a second. It said 10 minutes played 87%, but it's minimum time played. So that means that most players actually, like the vast majority of people stayed for longer than 10 minutes in the demo. That's pretty good. Yeah. I think these are pretty good stats. Well above average as compared to other Steam demos. Thank you, Steam. Thanks for patting me on the back there. The perks are set as player abilities. It should already be in the save file. It should, but then loading them needs to modify the right things, and I think it does. You're at least 50 minutes in, so you will be in this category, and in another 10 minutes you'll be in this category. Nice. No one made it to 100 hours though. I'm actually very surprised. Yeah, Darkstorm just commented on this. I think probably this is Kevin, if one person can even register on here, because Kevin left it open for a while back when we were trying for concurrent players. Is it in Next Fest? No, but it is a demo. So if you do just go to the Steam page for it, you can play it if you want. I will say this, and the stats kind of show this too. There's about 2 hours of gameplay. So yeah, most people stop between the 1 hour to 2 hour mark. Yeah, I think most people probably finish in about 90 minutes and feel pretty comfortable ending there. Some people want to go a little bit further. That's fine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Look at that. Right there. 20 plus hours, 9 people. What are these people doing? How much time do I have? 9 people in the 11 to 12 hour range? I think these people probably left it on overnight. Yeah. One of those is me for sure, yeah. And what is this? Time played range? One standard deviation. So that gives us an idea of the normal curve that we would draw, I guess. Average time played, an hour and 48 minutes. That doesn't really mean anything. Compared to other games on your partner account, I guess that'd just be Botland. I'm kind of curious if I click this button. Okay, here were Botland stats. Lifetime users measured 21,000. Average time played an hour. Median time played 10 minutes. Oh man. I think that happens when you get more players though. There are going to be a bunch of people who bail out. Also, it was a free to play game. But someone somehow had, wait, 859 people had more than 200? Oh, 200 minutes. Oh, it was hours in Skeleseller. That's what confused me. Okay, well, anyway, those are the stats. Wishlist count, I think, has gone up since I last recorded this. Yeah, 1259. It's going up by about 10 per day, which is not bad, but it's not going to get us to, you know, tens of thousands by the end of this year. All right, what was I doing? Saving and loading. Save how many fish you have. All right, let's go figure out where we're saving all this stuff. There's town save data. I wonder if we should consider this to be progression data. We've been throwing some stuff in here. Oh, no, it's not that. Although there has built town hall. I don't think this is really needed, because some of these things are only saved if they existed to begin with. Let's put fishing pond save data and then go make this thing. All right, so what are we saving here? Let's go look at our variables. We need to know how many fish you had and how many scales you have. So num scales, where's the number of fish? Fish count. So num scales and fish count. And I think that's pretty much it. And what are those values? Int and int, yeah. Num scales, fish count. I'm gonna say num fish. All right. And then the extractor needs to save accumulated item value. Public long accumulated extractor value. Sure. Anything else? Nope, I think that's it. So wait, just 3 values? That's it? Save any fish, save any scales, save the internal accumulated gold value, save the perks. That should all be done already. And make sure that loading with the selected thing works. Okay. That's pretty much it. No, no max fish because that should be restored by the abilities, I think. At least I'm hoping. Oh, also, I technically made a mistake. Max fish. Yeah, there's 3 here. This should be used in the fishing pond. Instead of just setting this to 3, this should be here. Max fish 0. And it's saying can't convert from a float to an int. And now you can. All right, I think we should just check that in. May need to implement reapply player ability effects. I don't think we have to, because I think when I made the abilities, I thought about that and did whatever we needed to do. I'm not sure, and we're going to test it for sure. All right, yeah, so it's a 3. Let's check just that in, because that is good enough on its own. That's just this one change, right? Yep, okay. Stop hard coding max fish in fishing pond. I now pull it from the ability that modifies it. All right, that was not save data. That was just me doing something else. All right, so fishing pond save data. Enchanter den save data. Copy this to the fishing pond. Fishing pond save data. All right, we only have 3 things we got to put in here, and the AI should just know how to do them. It doesn't. Yeah, it's just making stuff up. Num scales, num fish. And what's the last one called? Accumulated extractor value. This isn't public. It doesn't have to be, but I'm gonna make it public. At least accessible, not mutatable. Mutable, excuse me. I'm not putting any thought in my words. Public long this get private set. Oh, except yeah, that'll work. All right. Good. So we got the save data. Now we need to get it from the town. Save data. Do whatever we did for the enchanter. Yeah, fishing pond. Done. And then when we load, we need to do the same general stuff. Just copy this. Fishing pond save data. Create fishing pond and then get it and load using the save data. Now this doesn't exist. It doesn't know that it doesn't exist, but it's going to exist and I'm going to make it. Wow. Well, if saving and loading takes like 10 minutes, that'll be great. It really is just 3 values though. So yeah, that makes sense. What was your note app built with? That was built with Astro and Starlight and something else. Anyway, the notes are written in Obsidian, and then I think my Obsidian video has how I made that exactly. I recently did a video on stop talking. Does it talk about it here? I think I talk about it in the video itself, which is not as searchable. Ah, here it is. Yeah. I publish it using Starlight, hosted on Vercel. And I think Starlight is using Astro under the hood. Starlight. Yeah, documentation team built on Astro. Yep, so that's the answer. And let me know if you have any questions about that stuff, because I'm happy to answer more. Just wanted to get you a quick answer to that legend. Yeah, sure. All right. So now we need this function, load from save data, public. Put this near the other public functions. All right, this should be really, really simple to do. Set number of fish. Why would this happen? This would not be valid, would it? No, we need the maximum to be set before we get to this, which won't work. But we can't just save the maximum. I guess what we could do is we could set the maximum to like 1,000,000 and then later let it get set to what it needs to be set to. But it's going to have the wrong number of rendered fish even if we do that. So yeah, I think we should save the maximum even though it's going to get saved, even though it's computed. Okay, let's do that. Public int max num fish. We can compute this from the fishing perks, but it's easier to just save it to the file so that we load, so that we can load without having to consider abilities at the time. All right, so then the fishing pond, when we get the save data, it needs to now save the maximum number of fish. This is the actual max, yes. And then when we load, we're gonna set that first. And now set number of fish won't mess up. Now the extractor needs a load from save file, or load from save data. And we put this here. Then we go make that function. Public. And all we need is the accumulated value from this. Yeah. We could have had a get extractor save data. I don't really care about that. Okay, so now let's go try this out. There are a lot of cases that could happen here, but we're done with the basic stuff at least. This. This is technically automatically done. Okay, so I just hit save and load. We should have 2 fish. They'll look different. I don't care about that. 2 fish and 3 max. 2 fish, 3 max. There's one of them. The other one might be hidden behind a tree or something. We just load again until we can see it. Make sure that's showing. Yeah, they're there. It's 2. I got it. The max is 3. Okay, now let's do this. So now we have a maximum of 10. So we're at 2 out of 10. Save and load. It says 2 out of 10 again. Good. What else? Accumulated item value. Okay, so here's how we're going to test this one. We're going to put all 3 of these things here, and I'm going to manually drag some items down there. So we have 3 potions. 1, 2. Oh, I guess he's going to go sell it. So we put 2 potions in. So now when I save, the accumulated item value should be 6. That seems bad. Well, we'll look at that in a second. Where's the save data? Accumulated. What? Why is there no fishing stuff in here? How is this even loading then? Was I controlling the wrong version of the game that whole time? How would it reload the maximum though? Oh, I have 2 versions of the game open and it auto-saved over the old file. Oh my God. Okay, so I just have to hit save again from here and now we'll see the fishing stuff. Yeah. Wow, I'm glad I even thought of that because that would have sent me for a loop. Okay, yeah, so we have the accumulated value of 6. So if I were to set this to 34 and then load the game, and let's make sure it got loaded with 34. Yeah, this is failing. We need to fix this at some point. Bug. Tooltips fails somewhere when you try to load the game. Ignore that for right now. All right, so we should be at an accumulated value of 34, which means the next potion we put in is going to give us 1 more fish. So we're currently at 2 fish. They took my potion. Okay, we do this. And we should now see 3 fish. Yes, perfect. And now the accumulated value should be 2. Yeah, perfect. New here, I watched for some days. I was wondering how far is this game from being done? I think like 6 or 8 months. I don't know. It's just so hard to estimate. At any given time, I'm only looking at what's the next step. And the next step for right now is to incorporate all of the design changes from the last festival that happened. So at the beginning of February was a festival called Idler Fest. It was only for idle games, but it was mostly targeted at ones that are being sold. So if you were to go to the site and you were to try to find Skeleseller, there was only one place you could find it, and it was inside like up and coming demos or something like that. And you had to scroll down in that page to try to find it. Anyway, enough people played the game and gave feedback. And the biggest piece of feedback we got was, I want more game. So that's what we tried to do. So we spent 3 whole days just designing systems, and we came up with fishing and farming being the big ones. And we've almost finished coding the fishing stuff. So none of this stuff was here a week ago, and we've done that in this time. And even the idea to do this wasn't there 2 weeks ago. So we have this fishing system, which if you've been watching for a few days, you've already seen me explain a bunch of times. And we just added perks today. We're going to end up adding the farming system as well, probably in the next week. And then I think the other systems are not as big that I wanted to do. Give me a sec. Let me look at that. Oh, we can start adding perks for the enchanter and the garbage slime. That would be pretty cool to do. Maybe we should do that on Friday. Actually, I really like that idea. I'll write that down. Consider enchanter and slime perks. Enchanter, copy link. And slime. Clean up any remaining fishing stuff. Journal, of course. Anyway, we want to add a lot more perks. We want to add fishing and farming, stackable items, and customizable adventurers. All of that stuff is going to take probably minimally a month. And then we're going to try doing another push for people to play the demo. And hopefully feedback is good. I don't know if they're going to be like, yeah, this feels like it's practically a complete game. And now just, polish everything. So anyway, yeah, that's the next step. And then if all goes well, in June is the next fest. From today until Monday is the current next fest. And we'd like to be in that one. And that'll give us a big wave of feedback. And if things are looking good there, then the question is basically just early access versus launch. And I feel like it'd be a mistake not to go into early access. Prevailing advice is that early access is a launch, but it's not quite the full launch. So I wonder if it's worthwhile if you're only going to put in like an extra 2 months worth of work or something. Don't know. Anyway, if anyone listened to all of that and is like, wow, I'd really like to support this person, you can wishlist the game on Steam. You're looking for people for translations and localizations? That was a point there as well. Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I think I am. We're going to be starting some of that process soon too. Yeah, there's still just so much to do. Yeah. All right, where did I leave off with this? I was testing out the saving stuff. We did not test any scale things. So I have 0 scales. Let's go get some scales. All right, so I'll just let these, I'm not going to speed this up. They're going to kill them fast enough. So that should be worth 3 scales. In fact, if I were to save right now, we should get those 3, right? Yes, we did. Okay, pretty cool. And then let's make sure when we load this, and yeah, ignore that for a sec, and then save. That works. Hey, Spheriphoria, how you doing? Welcome in, viewers. Yeah, nice, I loaded. How's the stream? If you want to get going, I totally understand. For anyone new here, I'm still working on Skeleseller. Well, sorry, if you're new here, then the word still wouldn't have mattered to you. But I've been working on Skeleseller for about the last year. And one of the things we've been working on for the last week has been adding this fishing pond in. So actually, you know what I could finally do? Let me show this. Create fishing pond. Let's delete this line and rerun this game. Stream's going well. I think it's been a productive week. Monday was not great, but yeah, it's been pretty productive. And I'll show this fishing thing off. So yeah, for those who don't know, the game is largely idle. We have some things we're gonna have to fix up, like this is just a blank green space. But anyway, the game is largely idle. So rather than you casting a fishing rod into the water and clicking to catch the bobber when there's a fish attached, you're not doing that. Instead, you're building a fishing pond here, and we make our pond. We populate with a couple of fish. And the way that you fish these up is by battling them. So you actually now choose your fishing pond in the battle map and click start battle. And now you will just do damage to the fish like they're enemies. They'll just never attack you back. So yeah, when you finally do beat them, which I've kind of cheated here, we shouldn't have the fishing pond yet, which is why they're taking so much damage to kill. When you beat them, you get scales from the battle. So I got 1 scale, and you can use that to upgrade your adventurers. So to get more fish, you turn on this extractor, and now any potions you get will automatically be brought there by your workers. So they'll bring in potions and dump them in here, and then that'll eventually lead to you getting more fish in here. Is this all analogous to something like Dwarf Fortress? I've played Dwarf Fortress for a total of like 5 minutes, so I don't think so. But they're probably similar to some extent. I think there was some like semi-automation in Dwarf Fortress. I tried playing back when it was like all ASCII art and I couldn't understand what was going on. And I didn't really care to. And I think they've since released a more like visually appealing rendered version. Anyway, we'll be done with fishing hopefully in the next couple days or a short number of days. And then we want to make one of these plots of land over here turn into like a farming plot. And then we got to restart a bunch of work on that. I don't think that one's going to be too bad, especially because this device here, this extractor, we're going to use pretty much the same thing for farming. Excuse me. You'll get potions dropped into here and they'll fertilize your plants. So imagine having a farm plot that looks like this at first. It's just space for 4 different plants. And all you'll do is you'll click and you'll plant a seed. And it'll cost you money as soon as you do that. So maybe it costs like 25 gold. And then what seed you get is random. And the seed on its own then needs to be fertilized. So it'll take some of your potions. You'll fertilize it using potions basically. And then it'll grow the plant pretty quickly. And then you can just harvest it for food. And the food is what you'll use to upgrade your adventurer's health. So this whole fishing pond system is so that you can upgrade your adventurer's fortitude, which reduces incoming damage. Health is pretty obvious if you played any game in the past. It's just health. And then the only other stat we have is power, which is how much damage you do. Or if you're a healer, how much healing you do. So yeah, we're gonna do that stuff. I think another system we can work on Friday if we want to is the rare item system. Maybe the rare item system. I don't want to start farming just yet, but I do want the farming system to be done in the next couple of weeks. Anyway, if any of this stuff sounded interesting to you, the game is on Steam as a demo. It's free to play right now. It will eventually be a paid game. You can at least wishlist it if you want to. Do you want bug reports in the feedback forum, or do you have a different locations for those? I think the best place to put it is in Discord, unless it's something that you think is like 1 or 2 sentences long, in which case you can just type it in Twitch and I can track it. Because there are some known issues, and I could just tell you quickly if it's a known issue. If it's going to take you like, okay, there's 2 screenshots involved and there's like a paragraph of text, then by all means put it in Discord. But yeah, if it's just like, oh, I clicked this button and it didn't do what I expected it to do, then I don't mind responding to that here. Okay, so make sure we restore the right efficiency values. I think we've done that. Yeah, we did. We tested that too. I'm glad that's working. And max fish looked like it was working. But let's go add in like 1 million workers and grant a bunch of items and turn that on. So max fish is 3. We need to update this. There, click that. I don't have enough money to do that. Oh, there's a tiny, tiny little bug. Yeah. Tiny bug. When you upgrade the maximum number of fish you can store, any workers carrying potions don't just automatically go over to this thing now. I'll write it down, but I don't know if it's even worth fixing. No one's probably going to care or notice. When you upgrade your maximum number of fish, any workers holding potions may then need to go to the extractor rather than a shop. Yeah. Okay, anyway, we have 7 out of 10 fish. I'm going to save and I'm going to load, and it should hopefully be at 7 out of 10 still. Yeah, good. Ow. Wow, that hurt. Oh my God. I tried pressing the key closest to my microcontroller, and I stabbed my finger onto the pin. Oh man, that hurt. Oh, I've done that a ton of times in the past, but never that hard. Ow. God. I should probably like cap those with something. Oh man. You have 1 looping battle and 2 fled battles. If the looping battle is in process of healing a unit and you start a new battle from the map, it'll overwrite the healing battle instead of overwriting one of the fled battles. Were you trying to use the unit that's in the... No, wait. I think I know what's happening. I think it's that it's just reusing the oldest map or the oldest window that you had open. So you open the windows and they go in the order 1, 2, 3. The next one you open is going to be, if they're all free, it's going to open it here. So it's going to open window 4. And then it'll pick window 5. It'll place it like this. And so on and so forth. So if that's what happened, then I'm going to just say working as intended right now, even though I recognize that you would want it to take one of the battles that fled. Only because it's the kind of thing where it's like micro polish. I do appreciate the report, though. Man. God, I just can't believe the blinding pain for a second there. I wouldn't have expected that. It fled pretty quickly. It's not like I'm not like trying to say I broke a bone or something like that. So we verified this stuff. Make sure loading the game and the fishing pond selected works. The only thing I haven't tested so far is what happens if you don't have the fishing pond at all and you try loading a file. So here we just don't even have the fishing pond and we click load. Oh, the sign doesn't show up anymore, although that's not really a problem. That has to do with a different problem. Just a dev only thing. Okay, yeah, I think this is pretty good. Could we, if I click grant most things, what happens? It does show that sign. How do I do what I want to do then? I want to get to the point where we save, we load. Now I go into a battle here. We win this. Then we go into battle over here and win this. And when we win this one, it should show that sign. And now saving and loading should cause that to still be shown. Perfect. Whew. Great. Yeah, I think everything's working with saving and loading. This is all super straightforward. Yeah. Nice. That was it. Cool. Save and load the fishing pond. How come my navigation buttons are in the top right instead of the top left? Are you talking about these? I put the whole Explorer bar over here. If you right click this and choose activity bar position, or wait, no, there, primary sidebar, you can move it to the left. Are you saying you have this? Yeah, so the reason I did this is because I show and hide this part of the editor pretty frequently. And when you do that and it's on the left, it pushes all your code to the side. But when you do this and it's on the right, then it doesn't really matter. Also, then my actual physical camera is not blocking it as much. Or sorry, it's not blocking anything interesting. Like the code is over here as opposed to getting pushed to the right and then you not being able to see as much code because everything's pushed to the right. So yeah, I definitely prefer this way. And like I said, a lot of times I close it anyway, but whenever I forget or whenever I need to have it open because I'm looking at a diff, for example, then yeah, it's nice. Okie dokie. So we're now down to this stuff. For the sake of the demo, maybe just make fish grant money rather than scales. That way people can get a feel for whether it's fun. Just make it clear to them that they'll eventually grant scales for fortitude, not money. I don't think we should do this. Yeah, I don't think we should do this. Yeah, I'm gonna just delete this. Update, it's not worth it. Yeah, we'll eventually allow the scales to be functional. You've almost completely copied my setup now. Clean up, make sure the Fisher has a reasonable set of dialogues. Oh yeah, I never did that. This should be very easy. The hard part's going to be coming up with the text because I don't know what I want to say. So you build the fishing pond and click this. It says, I don't have anything to say to you yet. If you're somehow reading this and Adam forgot to fill this in. So that's bad. Yeah, sorry, Karada, I missed your message, but Kevin answered it. So thank you, Kevin. So what should they tell you? What's the difficult stuff about fishing? I feel like we should tell you about how the extractor works, how scales work, and how the perks work. You will hopefully eventually have perks in that UI at the top. Also, should we modulate these just to make them some color? To make them look a little closer to this, maybe? These are darker. What if I just take this color and set it as the modulate on all the things in the fishing perks? There's no easy way to do this, is there? I'd have to go through every button that we have. Skill button container. Is there a get skill buttons thing? Nope. Oh, it might be in the very root class that we have here. Ability ID to button. This is protected. Okay, yeah, we can do this. So let's copy this. And for now, this is just a quick debug thing here. All right, so skill button dot. Oh, we don't have a modulate, do we? We want to just get the icon to modulate that. Yeah, I need to make this public. All right, let's set it to public for now and see if this even looks good before we do anything. So we'll just get the icon and we'll set its modulate to this color dot from. What's going on here? From. That's not right. Is it a Godot color? Must be a Godot color. Because there's like a from HTML, I'm pretty sure. From HTML, yeah, there. All right. Okay, let's try that. If this looks good, then I'll do this in the proper way. Although doing it in the proper way is not even that hard to do. So, not bad. It's just going to make the icons darker and kind of match other dialogues. It might look ugly though. Is that better? Do they look better darker or light? I think they look better darker. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. Yeah, let's use that. So I'll just make a set icon color thing here. Public void set icon color. Done. 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 Feels better, but it's hard to read money. Yeah, I've gotten that feedback a lot. We need to eventually address that. I'm holding off on the UI stuff for a little bit. Man, it'd be great to just never work on UI in a game. We're gonna have someone who's got like a perfect vision of everything and I'm just coding it. Yeah, nice. That's pretty good. And it doesn't modify these, right? If it did, it'd be hard to tell, but it doesn't because it's in the fishing perks code. Cool, cool, cool. All right, well, that was not what I set out to do. But let's check it in anyway. Modify fishing perks skill colors, icon colors. This is just temporary code until we get proper icons. Oh, it might not be obvious that we need to remove this. I guess I'll write a thing here. To do remove this temporary coloring when we get proper icons. Cool. Okay, all right, for Thursday, ask Quickie Joe for icons for the new abilities, the new fishing perks, I guess. Think of any other graphics we may need. All right, back to this. So the things I wanted to have this person tell you about, the extractor, skills, and perks. Maybe they just give you an overview of the fishing system. Hi. With your fishing pond, I'll tell you how your fishing pond works. So we know the extractor is above them, so we can just say drop potions into the extractor above me. Above. If you said that in real life, would mean above, like north of me, I guess. Maybe just near me. I think it'll be pretty obvious that this is the only thing that stands out to you, right? To extract fish eggs from your potions. This will fill your... Maybe I should say this will slowly fill your pond with fish. No, that makes it sound... It's got to be some indication that this won't actually have an effect until you bring enough potions there. Actually, therein lies the problem, right? If we don't make it clear that this is all based on just the value of the potion, then you might think it's random. And then, oh, every like 6 or 7 potions, it seems to give me another fish. Is that an okay conclusion to come to? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Also, something else I didn't think about until just now, but we said it's 50 gold per fish. You will eventually get some buff from this, from some number of fish. I don't know, maybe it costs like 400 gold worth of fish to get 1 fortitude buff. That almost certainly won't be worth it. Yeah, so we almost certainly need to lower that price. And I'm not sure to what. But yeah, we definitely need to balance this. Anyway, drop potions into the extractor near me to extract fish eggs from your potions. If you want... Do we use the word workers when talking about anyone else? Oh wait, I know where we would have it. We'd have it over here. Boost the speed of you and your adventurers while in town. Oh man, there's no way to word this. I think we'll just leave it to the tooltip. You'll eventually drag a potion onto that. And in the process of dragging it there, you'll see this tooltip that shows up. Yeah. Drop potions into the extractor near me to extract fish eggs from your potions. Then open your battle map and select Skeleton. Open your battle map to start fishing. I want to put it in quotes. You get scales whenever you catch a fish. Use them to permanently upgrade your adventurer's fortitude. And then just write like note that feature hasn't been coded yet. I probably shouldn't put the note directly in the game. Yeah, so these will be the dialogues. So hi, I'll tell you how your fishing pond works. Drop potions into the extractor near me to extract fish eggs from your potions. Maybe just from them. I want you to think the extractor is a them. Drop potions into the extractor near me to extract fish eggs. This will populate your pond. Yeah, you get skills whenever you catch a fish. Use them to permanently upgrade your adventurer's fortitude. Cool, whatever. That's good enough. All right, so let's copy this into a place where I can't lose it. In case I accidentally close that tab. And now let's go code those things. This will be just like the enchanter NPC. There's already a state machine that has these greetings. Could have sworn we did this somewhere else and made an even better state machine for this. I guess we only have so many characters, right? No, I think they all use this. Didn't we make this better? What other NPCs do we even have? None. Well, none that would need to explain something to you. Tavern? Yeah, no, I guess that's it. All right, I guess we need to do this then. That's fine. It's not a problem. I just thought we might have something different. Still the same state machine. Got it. Okay. So in init, we're going to add this, and then we need an on-click function. We don't even have an init function. Copy paste. And then on click is just going to play this. And it should play a sound as well. Yeah, we have a sound. Okay. So delete. On dialog dismiss shouldn't even exist. Probably. Nope. And the current dialog doesn't need to exist. And the dialog data doesn't need to exist. Title Fisher. We probably still need to know that. Okay, so the standby state. This is going to be pretty much exactly what the enchanter does. Standby enchanter. Yeah, I'll just make a new folder over here. Call this Fisher States. Save standby. Okay, so transition from there to greeting, greeting 2, greeting 3. Yeah. We need what? 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we need these same 3 that they have. All right, let's copy one from the enchanter then. Save this in Fisher. And change this. Okay. Now we just copy the dialogues. Character portrait, generic NPC, Fisher. Man, that is such a great feature. So fast. All right, now save this as greeting 2. And now save it as greeting 3. Now go back to greeting 2. And add in the second line of dialogue. Okay. This is greeting 2. And then this is greeting 3. And we put this here. Okay, now greeting 3 is supposed to say something like, I got it, or I understand. Sounds good. And that's it. Now we just import these states. And we are done. So now your fisher will happily tell you how the town works, or how the fishing pond works. Hi, I'll tell you how your fishing pond works. You get scales whenever you catch a fish. Well, what? That's not right. Greeting should go to greeting 2. Yeah, greeting 2 should go to greeting 3. Did I do those in the wrong order? Yeah, I did. How did I mess up all of this? What in the world? I put this somewhere. I don't know where. Obviously in the wrong spot. Huh. I gotta go unravel that little mystery. I don't know. I only modified these files and it's not there. No idea. I wonder if we should make a string of text states that handles this stuff for us. For when all they're going to do is explain something to you. Tell you how your fishing pond works. Drop potions into the extractor near me to extract fish eggs. This will populate your pond. Then open your battle map to start fishing. You get skills whenever you catch a fish. Use them to permanently upgrade your adventurer's fortitude. Nope. Then I went to the wrong state. Should go back to standby. Greeting 3 only goes to standby. What? How does that work? Text dialogue base state. There we go. Okay. Well, it's not like it was a lot of work, but I messed up every possible thing I could have messed up about that. Hoodies killer, thank you. I like it a lot. I'm trying to make sure I'm covering it with as much cat hair as possible. Have to blend in here. Yeah, cool. And if we spawn another dialogue, it should just cut right through it. Yeah. Same thing with here. Yes. And same thing with here. Good. Cool. Yeah. All right. Nice. That is all working. Add proper text to the Fisher NPC. Done. And done. Okay, so the next thing I have, why can't I move this? What? What's going on here? There was a way to drag from the side here. Maybe, oh, maybe because this doesn't start as with an item on it. Maybe it's because I moved that. Old tasks. Ah, that was it. Yeah, now I can drag this. It's a little funky. All right, publish to a special Steam branch and give people the password. I don't think I want to do this. I think this is not a good idea. What's this next one? If we ever allow for tons and tons of fish in a battle, we could just have different fish graphics represent different numbers of fish and scale accordingly. Probably lasts about a minute. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, so publish to a special branch. Would people even want to try this out? Because it's not done, and there's no way for you to know how many scales you have. Like, I could publish it, but I don't see a point. So I think we'll wait until there's a function for it. So I think we're pretty much ready to check this in. I'll probably just wait till tomorrow anyway, so I can finish up some of these things. Finish up fishing. Think of mini lessons. Okay, well, let's spend a tiny bit more time just doing some random things here. Let's fix this tooltip issue. This is simply load the game and it breaks. Oh, sure, it doesn't do it. When I when I say it's going to do it. What happened? Why didn't it break? That broke it. So what's the problem here? The viewport doesn't exist? Huh, how is that possible? And where's this getting called from then? Oh, I see. Position your mouse on next frame. The next frame has deleted the tooltip, so there is no viewport. That's kind of silly. I guess we could check in here. Like, does the viewport still exist? If get viewport is null, then just return. And I'll write when this is possible, but that should fix the bug. I guess let's also print bug would have happened. So we even know that we're in that case. It's only for tooltips because you mouse over the load button, which I assume has a tooltip on it. I've never paid attention. Let's see. Yeah, load a saved game. So we're trying to show that afterward. So I click load. It didn't say it would have happened, but I guess when we load twice. Hey, Luke, thanks for the raid. Welcome in. I had a case of mistaken identity the other day because I think I thought that you and Mr. Demon Wolf were the same person. Yes, that is definitely what happened. And then I was scrambling to try to figure out who was I thinking of. Mr. Demon Wolf. I felt like an idiot. Anyway, welcome in. I hope things are going well. And welcome in, Luke's viewers. Yeah, Demon Wolf. Although Dean Wolf would be a pretty good name. We've been working on Skeleseller for the last year or so. So for anyone new here, you can check out the game on Steam. There is a link. I have been working on fishing recently, which is very different from fishing in other games. You have fish in this pond, and then you go battle your pond, and that's how you fish. So here's an example fishing battle. So there's no mini game or anything. You're just sending adventurers into battle. And the nice thing about this is you eventually get a lot of different adventurers in the game, and you can choose which skills you want for them. So maybe you have like a fishing build or a fishing party that's really, really good at fishing. So something like this ability might be good down at the bottom here. It is every time you cast a spell, your power increases up to a maximum of 50%. And this probably doesn't matter for every battle you're ever in, but the fishing battles are infinite. So you will hit that maximum. Yeah, well, part of what made me think about, first of all, you have like similar enough names and sort of theming. And then I thought that this other person had changed their name to your name, or vice versa. I don't know, I got turned around. But yeah, I do appreciate the raid. So the thing we were just testing right now is this. Yeah, bug would have happened. I don't know why this only happens when you load the game twice, though. Oh, maybe this is going to happen. It just said 2 times bug would have happened. So now if I load again, would it say 3 times? No. Maybe it's only when we click while hovering over this thing? No. How do you cause this? Huh. Fighting for a place to fish? Sort of. You're really just fighting the fish. By the way, there are normal battles in the game where the enemies fight back, but just not fishing battles. So like here, we have a bat fighting against us and they will do damage to me. And the farther you go into the game, the more you'll find enemies that can actually defeat you. So like if we just send 2 enemies into this, or 2 adventurers in this battle, it's one of the bosses in the game. And this is almost certainly going to kill me. Oh yeah. It definitely is. What if you load while the battle window is open? I don't think it has to do with the battle window being open. It has something to do with a tooltip showing. Because this is in the tooltip class that this error is happening. And there's no viewport. It might just be a race condition too. Like maybe if I just click load game enough times, it'll happen. Doesn't seem to be. Maybe if I zoom in. Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe if I was hovering over something like a sign. Okay, that might be it. Yeah, now it's happening consistently. Okay, that's interesting. Huh. Oh, you know why this was happening? I know why now. Because the fishing pond itself is such a large target and it's where my mouse is naturally resting. So I would hover over this, then press escape and load game and see. Oh, okay. Wow. Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Live on the Steam store page. Yeah, I streamed to 3 sites at once: YouTube, Twitch, and Steam. And I just used some OBS plugin for that. Which, by the way, if you're ever curious about doing that yourself, I wrote some notes on that here. Streaming to multiple platforms. Yeah, this. Hang on, this mouse is messing up more and more. Does that work? Can I press enter now? Yeah. All right, we're not doing this. I'm gonna write this down here. I'll just put an X here. As far as I'm concerned, I have considered these things. It used to roll up how many tasks you had left. Now I don't see anything about that. Streaming to Steam. Yeah, you might not have seen it because I think you can just disable the feature altogether. But like if you went to Skeleseller's page, it does show me here if you expand this. But it says 5 viewers, but it's probably nobody's actually watching from there. I never even opened Steam chat for that reason. Yeah, it's blank. I've been streaming for 3 hours and not one message. Although it's actually the same way on YouTube. No one's typed anything in the only person who typed anything at all today was Tropical Banana Man in the morning. Just showed me automatically. I think there's a way to have it be collapsed by default. Because I find that I never watch those streams. Like, I just want to find out if I like the game. And I do that by looking at their pictures, their video, and the reviews. And the stream does not sway me one way or the other, I feel. Oh, I guess we'll cross this off. All right, so we fixed the tooltip issue. I just got to check this in. This is possible if you loaded the game or went to the title screen while a tooltip was open in the world. In which case we don't want to cause a failure. Get viewport rectangle, yeah. I'll just say an exception, yeah. Someone was playing your game and had questions and wanted to talk to you directly. Yeah, I wonder if I'm ever going to get any activity through that. Like, we were in Idler Festival for this game, and granted, it wasn't super large for Skeleseller, and not many people discovered the game, but I had chat open for almost all of that time. I don't think I ever got a message from anybody. So the next festival I want to be in is in summer, hopefully. And I wonder if anyone's going to say anything there either. I think part of it is for previous festivals, people used to sort of exploit that you would get boosted while you streamed. So they would pre-record like a 20-minute video and just play it on loop for 16 hours. And it kind of made it so that you couldn't trust that the person was actually live as they were streaming. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to be valuable. Oh, great. All these greeting things are there and shouldn't have been there. Was that the last commit that I made at least? Yeah, I'll just check these things in then. Amend. And then fix this. Fix bug with loading a game. The repro was this. Hover over the fishing pond. Press escape. The tooltip would show. Press escape. Load the game. The tooltip from the fishing pond would try to get repositioned asynchronously. Oh, I was like, why is that yellow? I didn't type anything wrong, did I? But it's just too long. Asynchronously, which would result in a null viewport on the next frame. Now we check for a null viewport. We could also probably stop tooltips from doing this in the future, but if this fixes the bug for good, then this fixes the bug. Let's do that. How do you game with this keyboard? I don't. I just use a regular QWERTY keyboard. You can kind of, but in a lot of games, you want enough shortcuts where you just can't reasonably do this. Like, I don't have a good picture I can show you, I guess. Let's just pull up like Corn keyboard here. Yeah, let's pull this one up. Oh, this one has more keys than I have on my keyboard. So this has an extra 6 keys. But yeah, imagine you didn't have these edge keys here. You just had the ones in the middle. So imagine that, first of all, instead of using WASD, you're using like these keys. So ESDF. You have no number keys above them to type. Like, and a lot of first-person shooters, for example, you like change weapons or something using your number keys. So you don't have those. Maybe you lower them down to here, but then your hand feels a little cramped. So yeah, you have solutions for all this stuff, but it's like in a game, you don't want to enter a layer to switch weapons or something. You just want everything available and on a key. So yeah, I just use a different keyboard. Yeah, I can't take credit for any of the graphics for sure, but I like them too. I can take credit for the music though. I did make the music for this game. Okay. Make a proper shadow. Oh, shader. Yeah. Boxer barrel. Change fishing battle system to the pond isn't nullable. We can do this really fast. Do you have a numpad somewhere? Yeah. So these keys are my letter keys for now. And if I hold this key, they become a numpad basically. So that's how you see me type out numbers, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do that. So I can say something like, 2 + 2 = 4. And then switch back to, yeah. I think I drew an MS Paint picture of Adam playing games in bed with those 2 keyboard pieces long ago. Maybe. If it's on Imager, you might be able to find it there. How's WoW going for you, Liquidor? I saw you've been playing. Fishing battle system. We gotta reload this. So this should not be a question mark. That's the thing I'm trying to fix right now. So we have no concept of this thing not being null. It says it's possibly nullable, but I don't think that's... Oh, because we need this here now. Yeah. And then we don't need this. And any other exclamation marks we would have had can be deleted. Okay, hang on 1 second. Quit your meowing. Come on over. Yes. Come get all the attention you could ever want. Good cat. She's very attention starved. Wow. Not single finger is left out of good use. That's the nice thing about this style keyboard. There are 6 thumb keys. Whereas on a regular keyboard, you probably consider the space bar to be a thumb key, but other than that, you don't really have to use your thumb for anything. And since you have one long space bar, you typically only will use like one hand to press the space bar. Hi, cat. Abby's going nuts. So yeah, this lets me use more efficiently all of my fingers and also have very little finger movement as I'm typing. All right, so this is now no longer not nullable. We don't need this. And that should be that. It should be exactly the same code. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Let's try this out. Should work exactly the same way. Do I have any new Abby pictures I can show you all? I have like a million pictures, but I can't necessarily show them. Yeah, no, I can't show these. All right. Okay, so fishing battle. We just need to enter any fishing battle like this. And as long as nothing breaks, I think we're pretty much fine. We can speed this up. We could also, I guess at the same time, let's go get some more potions. Send the mage into here. Send the rest of these characters into there. And then turn this on and enable cloning. And just whatever we can afford of these things. That's it. That's all we can afford. Okay. Any errors in the console? No. I think we're good. Make remove nullability on fishing pond in fishing battle system. If you started a fishing battle, then it means you have the pond already. This was a vestige from when there was only one battle system. Yep. That'll work for now. Thanks for having me and showing your amazing game. Rock to keep going. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, and thanks for the raid. Thanks for dropping in. I'm not going to be streaming for too much longer. In fact, I was only going for this long because the cat wasn't bothering me. But she woke me up at like, I don't know, 6:30 in the morning. And then right around now, she starts getting really meowy. And we feed her at 5. All right, is there anything else we can do that's really fast? This is the last thing I think we'll do. Maybe these 2 things. Yeah. Right-click the fishing pond to add fish on a debug build. We don't have a concept of right-clicking the fishing pond, do we? We have a clickable area. I made a special thing for this, right? Yeah, this. We can just do that. Oh, wait, we probably already do that, don't we? Clickable area? It doesn't have a script. And I don't understand. We don't ever fetch this. Why is this accessed uniquely? Am I in the wrong script? No. We don't even get the area 2D. What? What is this for? I'm so confused. I guess just the tooltip. Oh, and I made it. Okay, I understand. I made it. Yeah, I changed this stuff. Hi, Abby. Hi. She's like, I'm gonna get your attention. I'm going over there because I want food or I want to play. I hear you loud and clear, cat. It's just not time yet. Okay, so all we need to do then is give this the right script. Clickable area. Put this on here. Then fetch this from ready. Private clickable area. Ready. Put this in here. Not what I meant. Totally fine. And then we add in a click handler here. Actually, on right clicking it. Oh, and only if you have the debug flag. Where else do we do this? Money label, I think. Yes, but it's here. That's what I want. Okay, so plus equal debug add fish. Yeah. Now we'll go make that function. Private void debug add fish. We're just going to say something like set fish to the maximum number. Yeah, there. Okay, so now if I right click the fishing pond, I'll immediately go to the maximum number. And I don't have to go through that entire process of like getting potions and bringing them to the fishing pond, which is very tedious, especially with these fake numbers in the game. Like 50 gold for every fish is way too much. I definitely need to balance that. Okay, so I'm at 2 out of 3. I right click, I'm at 3 out of 3. Good. If I increase the maximum, I right click, I'm at 10 out of 10. Perfect. Take a look at the sneak peek I shared on Discord. Sure thing. How do I? Okay, I can download it. I want to just open it in my browser. For images, there's a way to do that. All right, now we open up VLC and put this here. Whoa! If only I could have resized the video so that was showing the whole time. Language. Wow. Yeah, there's just one tiny problem. The scale, when you change it to Spanish, it should say 0.9, 1.8, 2.7, because everything's just a little bit smaller. But yeah, otherwise pretty good. Sometimes I just like saying nonsensical things. Okay, let's check this in. This now uses a proper clickable area. Yeah. Allow adding fish via right click. This only works on debug builds. Oh man, the cat's really going nuts. I should probably just get going. I wanted to at least complete this next thing here. And I probably could, but she just sounds so pitiful. Let's go find someone to raid. Who is online? Not a ton of people. I'll find someone new for today. Okay, so here's what we do. Same category, English. And we look for people we are not following and someone with a low uptime. Yeah, sure, let's go with this person. Great. Done, person found. Not gonna belabor these decisions. Handles updating everything you see change in the video. You just need to handle stuff that's not set via scenes directly. Yeah. We'll need some sort of like on language change signal. Although ideally we just never deal with that. Ideally you set the language in one spot and we just never have to worry about it. Thank you all for watching. I'd like to get done with fishing off stream now at this point. I think there's just some cleanup tasks left to do, I hope. So on Friday when I resume streaming, I'm hoping to tackle something just kind of fun for the day. Maybe we tackle enchanter perks or the garbage slime perks. But that's it for me. I will see you all on Friday and have a good rest of your day. Take care.